I'm sorry, is it me or does our intro just go hard?
It does. It really
It
does.
goes hard for no reason whatsoever. Anyway, this is Gaming with a Side of Salt. I am your host, Zio Gaming, the man with a
I'm telling you,
plan
dude.
who can't read and tells you about the news. Of course, with me, as always, is that guy over there, which, one of these days, I might actually point in the correct direction.
I do it
That
all the
guy
time.
over there,
Dude, that intro is harder than
Chad.
let me tell you, dude, that intro is harder than a star.
Shit. Yeah, he's done lost things. He's done lost stuff. So, where's the other thing we can go hard with real quick?
Post with the fans. Post with the post with the fans. Post with the fans. Post with the fans.
That's right, 8 p.m. Eastern Time is when we do this every Fridays. If you're joining us for the first time, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to hit the follow, subscribe, likes, all that good jazz. Chat with us somewhere because I do bring up all the chat right here. If you donate something, Chad's got to read it off or let me know that it exists, of course, because it does not pop into my feed. But we have lots of things to talk about today. We are sadly missing our Meg. Our Megalodon is not here tonight. She had prior engagements and cannot be with us. But that's fine. She's here with us in spirit. The Holy Spirit of Meg compels you to stay here and watch this. So...
Well, I just threw water all over my desk, so I blessed it.
That what you did? You holy watered the desk? Blessed
Yeah.
the desk?
Thankfully, that's the second time I spilled liquid in the exact same spot, right next to my mouse pad. But yeah, no, it was just water, so no sticky mess.
No sticky residue later. But yeah, we got things to talk about tonight. Let's see. Not a whole lot has happened. I hope you guys had a fantastic Christmas. A very great one. We had a pretty good time here. I've been busy constantly. I think we've all been pretty busy with the holidays. And I think New Year's is just right around the corner, is it not?
Yeah, dude.
It's gonna hit New Year's before we hit the next show, so you ready for the New Year's, Chad? Are you going to stream for the New Year's?
No, I'm going to work.
Oh, really? You got to work that night?
Dude, I'm security. I don't get days off.
Oh, it is in the middle of the week, isn't it?
Yeah. But
I thought it was good. I don't know why I was thinking
my next two checks are going to be nice.
It's going to be nice. My last check was pretty nice, I'm not going to lie. All that vacation time I didn't take.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, which gives me a bone to pick with the government. Let me tell you, I got paid for like 36 hours because I worked that 1 week.
Yeah.
And then all my vacation time came in, which was 100 and something. So my vacation time, when it hit my check, it was like 2,200, something like that.
Did they put that as a bonus or?
No, it came in as vacation time.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't have a bone to pick with my company or anything. It's with the government itself. Now I made like somewhere around 600-700 of regular work hours, right? And my vacation time came in for about 2,200 and something. Do you know how much I actually made that check though? After the government came in and took their piece of the pie,
about $1,000.
2,100 something, slightly less than what I got paid out for my vacation time. So it's as if I didn't even work that 30 some hours.
Yeah, no.
That is, if Trump wants to do something about that, I would be grateful for it. Dude, I mean, I was happy for the $2,000 I wasn't expecting, but
I'm really hoping he gets rid of income tax.
That is a hell of a lot of money for the government to siphon out of my damn check,
dude. I'm making more money now than I've ever made in my life. Like it's progressively going up, right?
Yeah.
But I'm still living check to check.
Yeah, I know, because the taxes they take out get more and more every day.
Yeah, the tax, dude. The craziest thing is, so I'm not trying to get into detail about my job, but I make about $600 a week. like 590 some, and it would be over it would be double pretty much without the taxes. It's insane how much taxes come out.
Well, yeah, I mean that's about what I make on my shorter weeks. My final check when I get when everything pulls out, taxes, insurance, all that good jazz. On my short weeks, it's around 500 ish, and then on my long weeks, it's closer to 700. But yeah, the money that they pull out of that check, I would be a lot better off if I didn't. Wouldn't have to live paycheck to paycheck so hard. Anyway, so this is apparently the Why We Hate the Government night on the stream.
Well, that's every night.
Oh.
Like, oh, there it is. I was looking for the remote to my heater. There.
You heard you turn it on. Is it cold up there?
No, actually, I was turning it off. It was getting too hot.
Yeah.
But actually, it's weird. Like, it's warm in the day, and it drops like 30, 40 degrees at night.
Yeah, it's been pretty warm lately around here.
But yeah, no, hate the government, hate everything about it. There's things that I'd want to say, but it'd probably get me on a very serious list if I did.
Yeah, you were already on the list, I'm sure. But anyway, just from our Twitter engagement. But let's get into the first story here. Apparently, Star Fox 64 developer Takai Imanura is happy about the release of a fan-made PC port, despite knowing that the creator and the IP owner Nintendo wouldn't tolerate it. So
this guy is one of the original developers of Star Fox 64, for people wondering. There's a video of this. If you can pull that up real quick, it shouldn't be hard to find because this was huge, which is why I am almost positive this guy's going to get a cease and desist if he hasn't already, because Nintendo hates fun.
Let's see. You may have to find it.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, I'm pulling up a Polygon article. My eyes already hurt.
Well,
I mean,
their layout is terrible.
All right, let's see. Gamer. I mean, the pictures look pretty good, but I'm not seeing the video accompanying anything.
Holy shit. Okay, well, we're not going to be watching that, but we could take some snippets. That's 2 hours long. That's the whole game.
Well, that's fine. Send it here. We just need a snippet. All right, I found out where to go download it at. Thank you, each gamer.
That's the first one I saw, but
pop it here in the private chat real quick, and I will bring it up.
Private chat. Take a second there. There we go. It looks great, by the way. Like, seriously. Nintendo, if they had two brain cells to rub together, they should hire this guy and not give him a cease and desist.
Star Fox in.
Wait, somebody actually say that?
HD. I mean, on the Nintendo 64, definitely.
Oh, this is a playthrough. Yeah, so this guy's commentary is going to be.
Falco here. I'm
Flippy
fine.
here. I'm okay.
That looks really good.
I see him
It does.
Let's rock and roll.
Did the N64 look this good?
No, it did not.
In this version,
Look bad.
Star Fox 64, where their heads are always in the cockpit. Also, there's an LOD fix, but apparently their heads could be not in the cockpit.
Slippy, watch out. Bogey on your tail.
Oh no, save Slippy.
Whoa! Thanks, Fox. I thought they had me.
I would target Slippy and shoot him down like every
range in their
mission.
skull. But again, this playthrough, you're probably going to hear a lot of commentary, like
You're entering Corneria City
when
now.
I played it last, whenever that was. But
I can find you something that doesn't have commentary if you want.
That's fine.
behind me, Fox.
Now, the city looks kind of.
Everybody stay alert.
Oops, sorry, Peppy.
I mean, granted, this is 64.
That's gonna happen a lot.
Yeah, this is what 64 looked like.
Yeah.
Your mic is a little low. My mic is the same volume as always.
Oh, shit.
That's why you
Right
pay
in.
attention, Boomer.
Oh, is there a first? First?
Yeah, that's always been there.
That's it?
Use the brake.
Yeah.
I don't remember it being in there.
Yeah, you had missions where it would force you into it.
I don't remember them at all.
So,
Yeah,
hang on.
I think it was the asteroid field or something.
All right, I may have to rebind.
Okay.
I'll think about that for
Thought you were dying. I just want to see the gameplay.
Do a barrel roll.
Okay.
Do a barrel roll.
Do a barrel roll.
Me being in a fox in space, and that's non-canon.
Well, this is available for download, by the way. I can't really tell you how to go about doing it or anything. I'm pretty sure we're not allowed to tell you how to do that sort of thing. But if you go to Niche Gamer here, they have all the links that you want. Let me do this. And there you go. You can go take a look for it yourself if you want to go take a look at the Star Fox 64 native PC port. Because, yeah, that is it's pretty awesome. Get it before Nintendo decides to come in with its massive, slong and slaps this guy across the face. Get it while you can. That's all I got to say on that. But yeah, let's see. Starship Alpha is now out. So yeah, if you want to play that, that's how you go ahead and do that. That sounds pretty awesome. It looks great. So yeah, you got anything else to say about this, Chad?
Give me a minute, I'm downloading something.
Oh my goodness, what is he downloading?
Something I can't talk about that may or may not be on your screen.
Okay, so he's not downloading this, that's for sure. Anyway, let's see. Psychological horror game Misfit launches this month. I don't know what that is. Power World removes Pal Sphere summoning a mixed lawsuit. Yeah, that.
Dude, that
I
Misfit
hate
thing.
that.
Dude,
I
that
hate it.
Misfit thing fucked me up.
Messiah. Wait, really? Let's see.
I saw one of the endings, and it was the most depressing shit. Like, I was like, nah, you know what? I'll stay.
Let's see. Is that anything that is it free or does it cost money?
I think it costs money. It's made by some Russian developers or something. And let me tell you, from what I've seen, they did a good job.
Side. Well, let's take a look at that while we're waiting on Chad real quick.
Wait on me to do what?
I don't know. I thought we were waiting on you for extra commentary for Star Fox.
It's fucking awesome. There's your commentary.
You told me you had to wait for you. You were downloading something.
Yeah, the game.
Oh my! We got that much out of it. We thought you were going to add something. Well, this looks like a nice little slice of life thing. I'm sure it can't be that bad. Okay. All right. It looks a little weird.
But yeah, I saw an ending to the game, one of the possible endings, and I was like, damn.
Let's see. There's a download. Looks like it's $14. I don't know. This looks like something to be fun to play.
It's definitely something probably that's going to be worth the playthrough. It's not really my jam as far as like game style, but for other people that are into that small, it'd be definitely worth a check out.
I'm sure it's more my thing. I like the
Probably.
anime stuff. But yeah, so we've got. Wait, what is this? Oh, yeah. All right. Star Fox. Diablo 1 and Diablo 2 devs secure $4.5 million for a new ARPG. We're going back to what made the early Diablo games feel so awesome, but taking them in some cool, fresh directions.
Oh, that's where they derailed. It was taking it in cool, fresh directions. But
So, if you've been living under a rock, Blizzard has been getting the L repeatedly this past month. Like, it's not even funny. Let's see. Overwatch, Steam charts. We can't bring up their official charts because they're on their platform, of course.
yeah, but from my understanding, Marvel Rivals is destroying them.
Steam charts. But we can look at the Steam charts because we talked about this not that long ago where companies like Blizzard and other companies were urging Steam to stop allowing that information to be publicly available.
Yep.
Dang it, I lost the other chart. I'm trying to bring up some stuff real quick. Let's see. Diablo 4 Steam charts. And the reason they don't want them to have this information from Steam is due to the fact that it shows how horrible their games are actually doing. So, I haven't actually looked at the Steam charts for Path of Exile 2 in a hot second since it came out.
Yeah, I'm not. I hear it's doing great, but
but anyway, so you take Overwatch 2 here. With its all-time peak of 75,000, it's got a good 34 or 35,000 in there. And then you see Marvel Rivals, which is your Overwatch clone, doing exactly what gamers want it to do, apparently. Yep. Let's be fun for the most part. I mean, I've seen a lot of videos from there. I saw overpowered shit, but
dude, I saw a Jeff wiped the field.
Oh yeah.
So essentially, this guy, this character Jeff is like a baby shark, and please, I know the song. But he has an ultimate that he could pop that'll grab anybody in the whirlpool that he creates, and he eats them, and he can jump off a ledge and spit them out.
Sorry, my disability kicked in.
No, you're good. I saw. So what Jeff does is he eats, whoever's in the whirlpool. Well, this little clip I saw, he ate everybody. Both the enemies and his allies were in his gut, and he leaped off the ledge and killed everybody. He aced the team and got 4 betrayals.
Oh, it doesn't have to do that. I'm trying to bring over a clip of what you're talking about. But yeah, like this kind of shit is just hilarious.
Yeah, I think this might be it. Yep. Oh no!
You can spit your allies out separately, and then take the rest of the team with you.
Okay. So that Jeff was just trolling because the one I saw killed everybody.
Yeah, you can straight up spit your own teammates out. And heck, I saw one where their Jeff the other team's Jeff took the entire team, and then except for their Jeff, and then their Jeff, as he went to the edge, swallowed their Jeff, then spit his team back out because Jeff had everybody at the time. Their team, Jeff, had everybody. He was going to go spit them out. And the previous team's Jeff then swallowed him, which then had everybody with him. So then he spit his team out, spit theirs off the edge.
Well, what was hilarious was I saw like a lot of clips of wholesome Jeff moments where basically the two opposing Jeffs were on a pillar just chilling out with each other and healing their teammates, but they weren't attacking.
It's like the most wholesome thing is seeing two Jeff the Land Sharks. He's the cutest little thing ever. How could you hate that thing? He sings too.
Dude, that's adorable. Oh,
I feel
there
like
goes another copyright
I
strike
know this
for you.
isn't our sort of game, but I feel
It's
like we
not.
should try it out at least. Oh.
Yeah, it's actually on my list to do is to try it out. Because the thing is, I was big into League way back in the day before they ruined it.
They do. And it's been hard to find a game that makes you feel the same way.
Tom Kench my ass.
But this might be the game that does it.
Maybe.
I mean,
I do love seeing the fact that somebody, a Doctor Strange drops a portal right at the spawn of the opposing team, and then
there was also one where Doctor Strange saved their team from a Jeff by bopping the portal right at the spit point.
Oh,
so that he spit him out into the portal
and back onto and then the only person that died would be Jeff.
Oh. Doctor Strange. Let's go with that. See if that brings anything interesting because some of these things are just
Marvel Rivals is just out
overpowered.
and this combo is amazing. Just one day and people can do this amazing stuff with Doctor Strange. Easy combo, easy win.
See, that's broken, dude. Like, that's what this guy did, but pause it real quick.
Oh, shit.
Or go back. That works, too.
I didn't mean to do that.
Okay, so what the guy I saw did, he didn't put the portal right in front. He put it on the ground. So the moment they walked out that door, whoop.
There was another one I saw where Doctor Strange, they had like 2 exit points. So he put the portal in front of both of them. For 30 seconds, it locked the team out to where they couldn't even leave the base.
Oh,
they
that's
just wrap back around into the thing.
That's so broken.
But yeah, apparently they've been asked about this stuff, right? And they're like, fuck it, it's fun. No, we're not going to balance it. It's fun.
Thank you. Balancing breaks games, I swear.
It does.
You can balance a game to death.
You know, when you're so busy trying to balance things and make it competitive to a point, like Overwatch or League or, like Smogon when it does with Pokemon and shit like that, it loses all the fun in the game.
Yeah, it really does.
Boils down to what is the meta? What is the one thing you can use? Do you have that? Does somebody on your team have this and that? Because the other thing was, apparently, I guess Overwatch has this thing like where somebody has to pick a support or won't let you actually play the game.
Yeah.
And
it's
they've been yelling at Marvel Rivals to do the same thing, and they're like, no,
a team of 4 Jeffs.
You can't. I don't think you can pick the same character as somebody else on your team.
Okay.
So it's not. You can't have 4 or 5 Jeffs out there or anything. But,
Could you imagine a Doctor Strange
game just because you don't have a support with you?
Yeah. Could you imagine like 4 or 5 Doctor Stranges, and they all put portals up, so now it's a maze just to get out.
But yeah, I mean, this looks like a game that I actually do want to try. It's just finding the time to go about doing it. But anyway, like we were talking about, and you got Diablo 4's numbers here. Now, Diablo 4, of course, and Overwatch both sold millions of copies. We're not going to downplay that. It really did. It was kind of its only real contender was itself anyway, for the most part. Path of Exile was kind of that niche thing that people heard about through the grapevine and went and played. But yeah, this is Path of Exile 2 on Steam.
It's still keeping numbers. I'm actually
And
surprised.
we already know that they had came out right before it released and said they had done over 1 mil at that point. So the fact that Steam crushed over 1 mil, which means people are logging in from Epic or their launcher, crushes it over 1 mil versus Diablo 4 on Steam. So yeah, Blizzard has been in panic mode.
Yeah, I actually did hear that. I didn't post it because it's been so hectic this week. But apparently a Blizzard insider was saying that there is legitimate panic about the numbers and how good Grinding Gear Games did with Path of Exile 2. And it's not even out. It's technically early access beta level. And it's crushing Diablo 4.
Now, it says Diablo 1 and 2 devs secure 4.5 million. So I now have the question of where exactly are these guys working at? Because they don't work for Blizzard anymore.
No, and that's the thing is I think this is going to be another competitive game to the Diablo franchise.
Moon Beast Productions is it?
Yep.
Okay. Exciting time for ARPGs accompanying loot expansions. Moon Beast Productions development studio formed in 2021 by ARPG veterans who worked on D1 and D2 is hoping to add its own entry into the ARPG boom and secured a 4.5 million in seed funding to do it. So that would be interesting.
Okay, hang on a second. Okay, guys. I'm going to work with Zio next time to get a can't read counter of some kind. So loot explosions, not expansions.
Yep.
And that last sentence, Zio, did you leave a word out there?
I did.
Did you purposely skip that word because you were like, fuck?
Nope. Anyway, I skimmed it. Thank you.
Skimmed it. Okay.
Oh,
Zio's the trailer of article reading.
Yes, I am.
You want the
world of loot explosions. I'm sorry, expansions. Look, there's a reason why I say I can't read some.
I'm here to point out all your flaws.
Oh, but anyway, yeah. So Moon Beast is apparently getting getting some money, which is nice. I'm pretty sure I reported on Moon Beast when they formed way back when. But yeah, they worked on. Let's see, a team has built ARPGs for 2 decades. Let's see, grabbed some people from D3 apparently, but yeah, D2, Nox. The fuck is Nox? Anyway. Let's see. Hellgate, Torchlight. I mean, Torchlight apparently was okay. People love that. Marvel Heroes.
That wasn't bad. Marvel Heroes, it wasn't bad, but it definitely wasn't. Here's the thing. I know the story behind Marvel Heroes, and the fact that the DC MMO, DC Universe Online, was originally Marvel, and then they abandoned the project.
Oh,
no! They literally had the project done, and then Sony or somebody pulled out. So up until a recent update to that game, you could see the Fantastic Four tower in Metropolis by the Star Labs. But anyway, so what ended up happening is they abandoned that, which was, by the way, DC Universe Online was amazing, to do Marvel Heroes Online, which was a okay ARPG, but it was very generic in like the user interface and stuff. So, and like, yeah. Now, as far as the Moonbeast Productions, I'm a little curious if Grimm's has any hand in this.
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
He's not involved with them. He's got his own thing that he still hasn't really produced anything out of.
Yeah, Grimm's kind of lost some credibility over that with me, but
Yeah, I mean, until he actually does something, because he's been on it for 7-8 years now, and we've not really seen much out of it.
yeah.
For some promo here and there.
I mean, I don't got anything against
And
Grimm's.
I want to give him, Grums the benefit of the doubt or whatnot, but at
Yeah.
the same time, I'm beginning to think that the tractors might have been onto something. So
Yeah.
But his experience in the development cycle and stuff is still an invaluable thing.
Yep, and it's a good resource to get stuff for us to react to.
Yeah, well, apparently Naughty Dog over here, whether you're
Oh.
celebrating with old friends, what the fuck is this shit?
Okay, so who wants to point out the problem here? Do you see his
That's the
name?
new chick. Isn't that Nathan Drake?
Yeah.
Is that Laura Croft?
Oh, I don't know who she is. I think
don't
she's
know who
from
that
the.
is.
Okay, well, let me.
No, I have no idea what the issue
Oh,
is.
okay,
It's
okay.
just
So the issue
weird.
is the young lady behind why am I blanking on his name? Guy in the center. Shit.
Okay, well, I don't know who that is.
Okay, it's from Last of Us, dude.
Oh, is that supposed to be Joel?
Joel. So
That doesn't look like Joel.
So the woman that is Joel. The woman behind Joel, you might know her if she was wielding a fucking 4-iron.
Oh shit, that's
But let's celebrate Christmas with the chick that beat my head in.
that's old Joe. Jeez, no wonder I didn't recognize him.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen a whole lot of him. I'm
So
like, that does not look like the same guy. But if you look at older Joe,
yeah.
it does kind
So
of look the same.
so do you see how this would be a very awkward Christmas?
Abby? Fuck, I
Abby,
forgot what
yes.
she looked like. God dang. Yeah, Abby.
You got Abby just going like, "Hey, I know I'm going to beat your head in about a month, but Merry Christmas."
Yeah, she would. This would probably be better if she had a
And scroll down, you'll
Golf
find the
club.
edit where people actually put in the. I'm sure that's a good one. You'll see, maybe not. Somebody did
nope.
do an edit where they put in a golf club in her hand.
Oh, and is that supposed to be Ellie then?
Yeah, that's Ellie.
I'm sorry, but whoever did that, it made it really hard.
There it is.
Oh, no. There we go. Fixed it for you.
I think I responded with what they got Abby for Christmas, and I put a picture of a driver.
Yeah, that
Like whoever did this has
I
not
feel like
played
that
any of
is
these games.
tone deaf at that point. It's like The Last of Us 2. What was the thing that was hated the most in that? The fact that Joel gets beat in the head by a driver from that chick there, and then you're going to do us a Christmas card where they're standing there next to each other, all happy, whatever, with the new chick that nobody cares about.
Yeah.
Wow, Naughty Dog.
Everything all right?
Yeah.
We good? Okay.
They're just playing. Anyway, sometimes my disabilities require me to go do things, people.
I know.
But anyway, so yeah, way to go, Naughty Dog, for reading the room.
Right?
Just bought a new PC. They auto bundle 6 months of Ubisoft Plus and Assassin's Creed Shadow for free. So Assassin's Creed Shadows is coming out for free for anyone who wants to know. Yeah, there's been a lot of these promotionals for. The sad part is a lot of these new games that are crashing and burning, right? They've had promotionals with like
NVIDIA?
Yes, thank you. GeForce Now, stuff like that. Ubisoft's Plus, whatever it's called, and all these other things where they've been giving these things away for free, and they've been crashing and burning still. Every single time, not meeting sales expectations.
Dang, dude, that rating is terrible.
And, the fact that you've got another Ubisoft game now being bundled as a holiday bundle for one of these things with Assassin's Creed does not sound, or it doesn't breed
Doesn't breed confidence.
Yes, there we go. It doesn't breed confidence in the end.
Yeah, if I was an investor, I'd be like, the fuck, you know what? I'm just glad I'm not investing. I almost did invest in Ubisoft, actually.
Well, they're crashing and burning, so it might be time to invest a little bit, depending on how low it got or it gets.
Well, I wanted to, but they're in a different stock. They're in the UK stock market.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
I don't have access.
They're launching this game February 14th. Really?
Yep, and then going bankrupt February 20th.
Monster Hunter's coming out that month. I'm so sorry, Ubisoft.
Oh my goodness.
You're not going to have a nice day, good day at all. Let's see. Monster Hunter Wilds Steam charts. Oh, wait, I'm not going to be able to pull up the beta chart from that. Can I pull it up from here, though?
Okay. Private chat. Zio, this is what's going to happen come February.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to pull up those numbers without an existing picture because it's no longer in the system anymore. But it reached over 400,000 on the beta alone.
Yeah, no, it was huge.
And that was the beta chart numbers. So when the game releases, I can expect it to do much better.
Yeah, and
Stop! He's already dead.
that's going to be Ubisoft come February. Like, holy crap.
Oh, gosh. But yeah, I'm still sitting by my predictions that Assassin's Creed is going to sell based off of name alone still. But I think it will be, again, one of those, it doesn't meet sales expectations.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
So, it's probably going to be enough to keep them up and running, but there will be layoffs. Massive layoffs.
Yeah, I'm about to say I think they're going to. Here's the thing. I think it's going to be worse than that. I think they're going to start selling IPs.
Well, that's the prediction.
I think it's going to be a layoff
right now from whatever dude who does whatever is already predicted that they're going to be selling off IPs next year at some point.
Yeah, so I think they're going to do massive layoffs after this. So quarter one, massive layoffs. My prediction is quarter two, they're going to start looking at assets they can sell off. And then maybe they might get them through quarter three, and then by the end of the year, they'll probably be looking at shutdown. That's my prediction.
Let's see, what is their IP list? I feel like we already
went through this
times before.
We went through this for like half of last
week.
That's
right. So they've got like Splinter Cell, Heroes, Magic of Might, The Crew, The Division.
Well, see, here's the thing: Splinter Cell, I think,
Clancy
is owned by Tom Clancy, so I don't think they even have the right to sell that. They just have the right to, produce.
Well, I don't know who has the rights to Tom Clancy. According to this, it's an Ubisoft IP.
Oh, maybe Clancy. Oh, that's right. No, that's right. Clancy did sell it.
Yeah, like the Tom Clancy series is apparently according an IP of theirs.
Yeah.
So they've got the Just Dance, Far Cry, Assassin's Creeds. This might actually just be a list of what is actually their IP.
Yeah.
So Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Just Dance, not just the games they've worked on. Prince of Persia, Rayman is an Ubisoft IP. Rabbids,
Yeah.
Tom Clancy's Watch Dogs: The Division, The Crew, Heroes of Might and Magic, and Splinter Cell.
Yeah. And there's more of the like retro stuff, but honestly, that might not be a direct IP. It might just be a publishing.
Well, see, they've done a ton of stuff because what we were going through was a list of games that they've developed last
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
And they have a huge repertoire of video games that they've done over the years, over the decades. But I don't think we've actually looked for an actual IP list of what they own.
Yeah.
A fraction of that, of course. So, because they have published a ton of stuff. But yeah, they don't have. I don't know if there's any. It's not really anything in that list that I'm like, be really great if somebody else made this because I'm not really interested in any of that stuff other than maybe a Rayman game.
Yeah.
The last one was great, but
let's be real. Let's be real. There's Mario and there's Astrobot.
And Astrobot's kicking it out of the park right now.
Yeah. So honestly, Ubisoft has
my kid hasn't realized there's a full-fledged game yet, so we'll just keep that on the down low. He's gonna want it the second he finds out that there's more than just that demo that was shipped with the system.
You're just buying time. I got you.
Buying time right now. He absolutely loved that. I think he said that it took him a couple of nights, but he beat the whole thing in a night or so. And I watched him. I heard Rough Nut.
Yeah, no, she's in my lap. So.
Oh, okay. I heard her making noise.
Yeah, she's always she's been a bit more vocal lately. It's been driving me up the wall.
It's so cute though. But yeah, I watched him beat that dragon at the end, which was cool and fun to watch. So
and apparently they added a bunch of new skins for the bot, like more bots you can unlock and stuff. And
well, probably in the game.
Well, yeah, it's all in game. Yeah. It's not like
that little short mini game that came with the.
Yeah, they didn't EA it, from what I understand. It's all.
Yeah, I mean, it was a decent sized little thing. I don't know what to call it because it's not like a full fledged game, right? It's like Astrobot's Playroom or something.
Oh, is that? Oh, I don't know about that.
And it came with the game system. Itself.
Okay.
And I don't really consider it a full fledged game, but it's also not like a tech demo either.
Oh well, fine. Just shoot Mike down what I just said.
Yeah, sorry. In my idea of what things are, it doesn't feel like a tech demo. It felt like a game, but also not a game, like a mini game, like a small fraction of. I don't know. Anyway, the point.
Real quick. Nothing pertaining to this. Real quick. Do you own Demonologist?
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow. As a backup.
I don't have it downloaded, but I do own it.
Okay.
It's been a hot minute since we played it.
Yeah, they added like 3 maps too, and like 2 places two hideouts you can buy or whatever you want to call it. Base of operation.
I like the bar.
Oh no, the bar is Bay. Like I love that bar.
Anyway. So yeah, Assassin's Creed Shadows is coming bundled free with stuff now. Because they're not confident. And on top of that, Ubisoft is not confident in this game. When they come out and they sit there and tell you that half their staff has never worked on a game before this,
yeah,
that's not breeding confidence in your title at all.
You know what they
preemptively damage control and say, well, I mean, half the staff didn't know what they were doing. So, I mean, what were you expecting?
I was expecting competence.
Title. We were expecting competence in a good game. That's what we're expecting because this is your flagship title.
Yeah,
you know.
That half that has not worked on games should not have been put on this project at all. They
should be on something else or something.
And they should have delayed this.
Completely different. But at the same time, the brain drain is real.
Yeah, it really is.
I said this in a bite-sized news segment talking about that. But when you focus on checking boxes and DEI and all that good jazz and stuff like that, and you force your good talent out, this is what happens. You wind up with half your team not knowing their feet from their head in game development and not knowing what they're doing. And then you have a game that's a buggy mess, that's not proper, that's not fixed, that's not optimized for anything.
Yeah, when you do DEI,
delay
it's
after delay
DOA.
after delay, because you're having to retrain these people to do things that your veterans could have done.
And that
your
also,
veterans, unfortunately, were white old guys that you wanted out of the gaming sphere for whatever reason.
and I can tell you from experience, training people who don't know their head from their backside frustrates the trainer, which is the people you do not want to leave, and then they sign up somebody who gives them better money.
But yeah, I mean they've already tried getting ahead of it. So again, I think a lot of people are expecting this just to burn up. I think it's going to do okay, but not enough.
Yeah, I think they're going to lose money on this for sure.
They're definitely going to lose money somewhere.
I'm just going to say this real.
If that prediction of them selling off IPs becomes a true thing, well, so be it. It'd be a day to celebrate, I guess.
DEI equals DOA.
DOA. At this point in time, it does, doesn't it?
It really does. Like,
all right. Since we don't have a third talking head to elongate the time like we normally do, EA permabans your Apex account for just saying "don't be gay," and I think this is utterly gay. Anyway.
Okay, well, fine. Then we'll just. Okay, well, look. You know what? I will not say "don't be gay." I'll just say "stop being a fag."
Well, that's even worse. they canned that term a long time ago.
Well, look, I tried.
But yeah, you can no longer play EA games on this account. We have removed your payment details from our system, so you won't get any more charges from us.
Oh no, I'm banned from EA.
So be careful where you purchase your digital games. And this is my advice. Stop using in-game comms.
Yeah.
Point blank. I don't care how you have to deal with it. Just don't use in-game comms. We haven't done it in probably a decade at this point for the most part.
I've not done it since about high school.
I mean, the last time I've used in-game comms is probably the old Halo days.
Yep, that same.
Yeah, back on like the 360 or something.
Yep.
Since then, use Discord or some other form of doing it. Hell, if you've got to, Skype it. Gosh, just don't use in-game comms because it doesn't matter what you say. If somebody finds it offensive for whatever reason, even if it is something as benign as "don't be gay,"
yep,
you could find yourself completely banned and lose access to everything on your list.
Yeah, and here's the thing that pisses me off. I can understand getting banned from Apex. That's fine, whatever. But see, this didn't ban you from Apex. It banned you from EA, which I think is complete BS.
Yes, and that's the other ludicrous thing is the way the EULAs have been written, because a lot of these things are platforms like in order for you to play EA games, you generally would have to go through EA's Origin launcher or whatnot, which means you're probably buying games through there and other stuff. If you're a big EA fan or an Apex fan, now you can play Apex Legend on a variety of things, right? You can play it on, Epic. You can get it, I think, on Steam as well. The PlayStation Store.
But it all connects to.
But it all sort of starts connecting to other things. So if EA comes through and they ban you from their entire thing, so anything you have bought through Origin is now lost to you forever.
And keep in mind,
unless you sue them over it, because quite frankly, I think if somebody actually had the money to take them to tasks over this kind of stuff, the EULAs would suddenly start changing.
Yeah.
The problem is nobody has the money to do that.
Yeah, because we're
know
gamers.
that, which means they can just, plow over us like it's no tomorrow.
And this is where I hate saying this, And I know it can't happen. It can't happen because our government is full. Our government, the U.S. government, rather, is full of old, decrepit mummies that should have been retired years ago, and they don't know. They think a TI 83 is the highest tech in the world. So, the whole thing is government intervention would be actually merited here because now this is my perspective. If I buy a product, digital or otherwise, I am the owner of that product. That doesn't mean I can do whatever I want with it, but it does mean I own a copy of that product. So when the developer cuts off my access to set product, and I don't mean like Apex. Apex is the cause, but then I would lose access to like The Sims. At that point, it is not a ban from a game. It's a ban from all my games in that area, which is theft because I own those games.
Well, that's the thing you don't. But I mean, you're on the right track because
what I'm saying is that needs to happen. Like, they're not going to do it. Like, the companies aren't, and they're not going to learn unless people stop buying them, which they're not going to do because, honestly, I'm going to come out and be very rude here. A lot of gamers are dumb as dirt.
Well, see, that's the thing. With a lot of these digital storefronts, we get the license to use the game. They can revoke the license at any time. It's in the EULA. That's how it's written. We don't actually buy the game anymore.
Yeah, see, and that's where
like we used to do.
That's where my hang up is, because if it's a single player game, you should own the rights to one copy, regardless of how you bought it. Now, if it's a game like Apex where you have to connect to play it, that is when I would say, yeah, you can revoke the rights, because if you break the user agreement or whatever, revoke the rights to that, but revoke the rights to online play. If there's a single player aspect, they should still have access to that. That is why I think EA is on par with the IRS for theft.
Anyway, so this is part and parcel with the Crew lawsuit thing that's going on, by the way.
Did I buy you time?
Yeah, you remember the Crew debacle thing that's going on right now. I don't know where it is or how it's going, but that's the thing. It's like I don't want my government to have to do a thing, but at the same time, I feel like there needs to be some kind of laws or something in place to kind of prevent certain things from happening like this too. Like, it's one thing to get banned from Apex.
Well,
another thing to get banned from your entire portfolio of games that you have on an account.
There are laws around this. There are
none.
No, there is. But here's
there isn't.
Okay, boomer, let me finish.
Okay.
There are laws around this, except companies like EA and others, they take advantage of a loophole that expressly says that this is for products. But see, they're not selling you products, they're selling you digital products, which is how they get around the fact that it's not a physical product, so that they don't have to abide by those laws.
Or they just sell you the license.
Again, digital product.
Which, again, isn't a product. But that's where things need to come in. It's like,
here's the
EA
thing.
should be able to ban you from using their online service. Sure.
Yes.
Okay. That's fine. They shouldn't ban you from being able to access your things that you've already purchased on there, of course. But if, say you've done something naughty in Apex, naturally you can't play Apex anymore.
Dude, I don't even think Steam does that.
No.
If you get banned, you can still play your games.
But this is why GOG has started on that whole preservation kick, too. It's because of things like this, mainly from like things, especially from Blizzard, where they stealth dropped those HD remakes of like Warcraft 1 and 2
Yeah.
that I found by pure accident. I was like, dude, look at this. This would be kind of fun to do because then we can actually connect without having to, finagle 15 different things to make it happen. Right?
Yeah.
But the problem is when Blizzard does that shit, they wipe out the original. Like behind me over here is Warcraft 1 and 2 and the expansion Tides of Darkness and Warcraft 3. All those are physical discs behind
get-
me on that thing over there.
You got the battle chest, didn't you?
No, these were back in the days.
Yeah, no, they had a physical battle chest that you could buy. It had 1, 2, and 2.
Well,
the
I
expansion
might
pack.
have. I think I bought a few of those too at some point, but I have access to the physical discs, keys, all that good
Dude,
jazz.
that was when
But
that was
here's
when
the
that stuff
thing.
was so good.
If you install Warcraft 3, if I was to buy a disk drive for this PC, plug it in, install Warcraft 3, the second it tries to connect, and it will try to connect, it will automatically install the new version of Warcraft 3 and wipe it completely out. So you have to play their new updated version full of bullshit, right?
Yeah.
And that's your only recourse. You can't play that without just, and you got to put it on something. You can't touch the internet with it, so it doesn't connect and try to install. An
You can
update to the HD version.
I'll say this: you can.
They've done the same thing with Warcraft 1 and 2 this month. They were wiping the originals off their storefront. GOG was like, yeah, they're doing this, so we're going to preserve it here if you want the original as intended without the bullshit that Blizzard sticks into the new versions.
Yeah, GOG is going to make bank because they're taking that is a power vacuum right there that a lot of gamers are going to look at. And, like if they push it enough, a lot of gamers are going to look at that and just start flooding to GOG.
But yeah, like something does need to be done about this particular problem right here. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And it's going to require government oversight, unfortunately, because when there is no other recourse but your government to get it done at that point, unfortunately, it's one of those you're going to have to bite a bullet somewhere.
The problem is the government's not going to get it done because, like I was saying while you were gone, the highest tech they're aware of is a TI-83.
Well, yeah, we got to get younger people in the government and who aren't complete bleeding heart liberal retards.
Yeah.
Who can't see beyond their nose. But, there needs to be some changes in some of these laws. The real change into it because, you can't come out and just say they have to keep it online, right? Because that's the other issue with that. When it comes to the crew is a multiplayer game. And it's just a multiplayer game. However, and that's how it functions, right? That's how it works. However, it does have a single player component to it. It was accidentally put in by accident during a patch at one point in time, which is why people know it exists. And then they quickly removed it, right? And the point is, it's one thing to say that they've got to essentially make it playable single player, and with something with the crew that already has the ability for bot races and stuff like that, it's easy for them to just flip a switch, keep, the last update removes the multiplayer, and then it puts that on, and then you can play the crew from now until infinity. But then again, you can't sit there and say, Blizzard, you have to keep World of Warcraft alive for now until infinity, because it's a multiplayer, like it's a massive multiplayer online game. It does not have a single player component. It can't function as a single player game or anything like that. So there's got to be some wording in there and stuff to prevent that sort of thing, because people will then be like, oh, well, you've got to keep this online. When you don't need to keep something like a massive multiplayer online. Like when League of Legends, if for whatever reason it dies, there is no real single player component to that. It's just dead at that point. and having a law that would say that Riot has to keep it online for the two people still playing it is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's untenable.
But if it's a game that can be played single player, there should be no reason for it to, not be.
That's what
allowed.
I'm saying. You should still have access to your games, just not the online component.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing is they don't want you to do that, because what it is it's comparable to planned obsolescence. They want their old games to die so that you buy the new shiny one.
Yeah. Which is usually what happens when you do make a second version of it.
Yep.
Yeah, but sometimes it doesn't. But anyway. So yeah, EA apparently will just permaban you for benign things. So don't use comms in games, damn it. That's the moral of the story.
Yeah.
Right here. Let's move on to the next one and see how Wikipedia wastes their freaking budget.
Oh, dude, I saw this. I was like, who is donating to them?
Like seriously. Now, about 50% of it goes to the infrastructure. We got that. And the effectiveness, sure, that's fine. But really? 11.6 into safety and inclusion and 17.6 into equity? Like, why is that necessary?
Well, see, here's the thing.
These
I don't
two
even
slices of the pie should not exist. It's Wikipedia.
Here's the thing. They need to explain what is effectiveness, because that is a kind of a blanket term.
Yeah, I know, but like
I get
still,
infrastructure.
This one I get, but the rest of this, I mean, this one, it's okay, whatever. But this here, these two pieces of the pie should be 0%.
I get a feeling
It's
that effectiveness is
Wikipedia.
advertising.
Probably. But yeah, like these two pieces of the pie should be 0%.
Yeah.
There's
absolutely.
nothing about Wikipedia that requires safety and inclusion and equity.
That right there
Crying out
tells you that your high school teacher was right, and Wikipedia is not a citation.
Yes, like
I hate that they've done that now, or like you can use Wikipedia
it
as a
seems
citation.
to like bounce back and forth, right? Like, because when I was in high school, Wikipedia is not a citation. You can't use Wikipedia. But then I have seen teachers, with the kids, not my kids directly, but other kids and stuff like that, where, well, he said I can use Wikipedia. And I'm like, why? You want the most I mean, if it's not something like just totally benign, it is probably inaccurate.
Yeah.
A lot of the times. Or it might even be fake, because there was that fake war that was on Wikipedia for like a decade that just stood the test of time. They might as well just leave it up now.
Well, and then you got
under it or something.
Ubisoft influencing them.
Yeah, you got that one guy who made that Yosuke article or something that referenced him, which then referenced him, and then referenced him in this giant circle jerk of referencing himself to make him the most knowledgeable person on Yosuke the samurai that never actually existed.
Well, I'm not for sure, but I think it came out that the retainer story might not even be true.
I don't think he was ever a retainer to begin with.
Well, no, that's what they tried to do. They're like, well, he was a retainer.
Yeah, he was a retainer. I forgot about that bit. He was just a black guy in Japan for a short minute that did absolutely nothing and then left. And it seems more like he was kind of an indentured servant or something to this other group anyway. And he was a novelty and more like a pet to Nobunaga or something while they were around for a hot minute.
Yep.
For what little was written about him. And it's just like, I don't know if that's if that's who you really want to make this fictional thing about. But okay. You might be better off just making an Assassin's Creed and have the Afro Samurai in it, and it would probably go over much better. You can set it in fictional world of the Afro Samurai thing, and
actually,
that was an anime that people liked or something.
Oh, the Afro Samurai was awesome.
People absolutely love that. You might as well just make an Assassin's Creed center around that story and ask for the rights to use that. Would have
Dude.
been done a lot better.
Imagine this, all right? A Assassin's Creed in Wakanda. Marvel
People still think
crossover.
that Wakanda's a real place, which kills me to no end.
Yeah.
That there are people who think it's real.
Well, dude, okay, I sent you that video that had the math problem.
Yeah, I didn't finish watching it, but
Dude, the guy at the
Anyway.
end gets it completely wrong.
yeah, I don't even know what the math problem was. I got interrupted.
It was
by one
the
of
large
kids.
dog, small dog,
I don't remember.
but yeah,
I
it's in your DMs.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Wikipedia wastes its money,
What a shock!
and it wastes what, 5 million on this
Yep.
shit? Over 5 million.
Let's see, safety and
Don't
inclusion.
donate to Wikipedia. That's the moral of the story. Don't donate to Wikipedia.
At least 31 million, but upwards to 70 million. Because we don't know what effectiveness really entails, so.
Okay. So I'm reading this right here. Misses the point entirely. Diversity is the only way you can harness the wisdom of the crowd without groupthink, creating biased results. Reading the literature on groupthink and group polarization to see why I say this. Now, I haven't read that, but I will be happy to go read whatever nonsense I'm sure that is. But here's the thing. When you get people like this, they like to gaslight you, right?
Yeah.
Because what they say, it's kind of true, right? You get this diversity of people to not have, groupthink and stuff like that. The problem is, when we're talking about things like this and diversity, that's not what they want. Because the second you get a conservative or somebody who leans slightly right of whatever left side that they are on, they're shunned.
Anybody write a Mao?
You write them out. You get rid of them because that's not what they want. When they say diversity, DEI, diversity, inclusion, and equity and stuff, what they're saying in these kinds of circles, like Wikipedia here, Wikipedia, whatever you want to call it, they're referring purely to skin color because they're a bunch of racist asshats, right? Because they can't see past skin color. They think diversity is having a black guy, an Asian guy, and a white guy. Oh, and they all have to be women and they all have to be lesbians. That's diversity to these people. That's not true diversity, but that is diversity to these kinds of people right here that we're talking about in this particular thing right here. So it doesn't really matter what the groupthink study or whatever he's talking about even says at this point because it's mute and it's mute. It's pure gaslighting at that point because that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a bunch of racists here who think that the only thing that makes you diverse from somebody is whether you're black or not, or black enough when it comes to, say, Microsoft or other places too, because apparently that's a thing that we have found out from, people being caught on hot mics and cameras and stuff like that, that they won't, if you're not black enough, they don't want you, right?
Yeah, pretty
And
much.
that's why it's such a problem.
There's a thing going on right now on Twitter about the immigration thing and particularly pertaining to Indians and the nepotism. And hi, Meg.
Hey, what's
Meg?
up? Yeah, I know. Streaming from
special guest star.
I was
Coming-
just about to go on a racist rant against Indians.
Don't do that.
I was like, speaking of diversity, speaking of black enough,
Now, we're
what's up, y'all?
finally diverse enough. We're
Yeah.
finally a diverse group here. No, wait, let me fix this.
Hmm.
Okay, now we're
Oh,
diverse.
you know what?
We've got
Fair
the
enough.
old white guy. The
Wait,
young
Zio,
white guy,
Zio,
and
I
then
don't
the black
think
woman
it's-
there.
I don't think it's fixed properly. I think you need to lower yourself. Check your white male privilege.
You're right. You're right. I am so sorry. The privilege hierarchy should look like this. Now, Meg is where she needs to be, up at the top there, because she checks more boxes than we do.
I do. I check so many boxes. You have no idea.
No, we were
But-
talking about this comment down here where this guy, Michael Baxter, is gaslighting people
Of
into
course.
diversity because
Michael Baxter. Baxter.
Baxter.
I love that film, by the way, Bruce
he's
Almighty.
gaslighting the term diversity because they don't seem to, because they like to do that, right? And
Mhm.
when we're talking about it, we're just talking about skin color because that's
Yeah.
all they ever see. Their
Oh, it's-
idea
it's-
of diversity is a black guy, a white guy, and an Asian guy. Oh, and make them all women and gay. So
Yeah.
that's actual diversity to these people. While for the rest of us, if we actually wanted diversity, we would have people like from the left, the right, different skin colors, different lived experiences, actual differences, and we don't shun somebody because they're slightly right of center or something.
Well, so these people are very, very superficial. But the
Yeah.
other thing is that, so when people say we want diversity, I'm like, no, you don't. And no, I don't. We don't actually want diversity when it comes to something that's wholly different. We want something we don't necessarily want to be a monolith and try to gatekeep for that. But we do want someone who's in the same framework, who understands the culture in which you are currently. So, you don't want someone who's coming in who has completely separate moral values, to where they think that I don't know, they think that, I don't know, maybe the evil queen is a good person, or that the wicked witch should actually be, a sympathetic, anti-hero. No, she's bad and she deserves to be melted. So it's the same kind of thing. So we have a lot of problems with that, where we just have a bunch of people, they don't care what people actually believe, as long as they look the part and will say the correct words. But the thing is that they don't really care about like what's actually at your core. And the thing is that actually I don't want diversity when it comes to morality. I don't want a bunch of people who think that maybe it's okay to murder your neighbor if they annoy you on Saturday. That's not okay. I don't want that kind of diversity. So I don't think that they really know what they're talking about. And I think that they're just saying things that sound good and buzzwords that make them feel good, because this is the only way that they can get virtue of any kind, because they don't believe in an actual framework. They don't believe in an actual theology of any kind. The only thing that they actually go for is, does everybody look different? Therefore, that makes me a good person. That's it.
Exactly.
Okay, so I gotta.
That's a better way of framing what I was trying to say. She's so much more elegant than me. Anyway, so I wrote a note to self real quick because I thought about it in the middle of your rant and didn't want to interrupt it. But yeah, my
I appreciate
girlfriend was
that.
watching the show, right?
Mhm.
It's where these people have been like talking and they're together for like 90 days, and at the end they either get married or they don't, or
Oh yeah,
break
I
up and
heard
stuff like that. Well, there's this one chick. She's from Florida, right?
Mhm.
And she's very liberal thinking. And she's been, with this guy from South Africa who's Muslim. Okay. And we're watching the show together. And not because I enjoy it or anything, but, because it was kind of interesting. Anyway, so dude is Muslim.
Mhm.
And
That's not
throughout
going
it,
well.
there's been little drops in this, that, and the other. And she's getting upset because she's afraid that he's going to want her to convert to
Oh, there's
a Muslim,
there's no
right?
if about it.
And I was like, yeah, he totally wants her to convert, because if he is a traditional Muslim, there's only one way out of this, and that's to be not a traditional Muslim. Move to the US. Don't tell any of his traditional family about it.
Yep.
Or just forget they exist. And
Yeah.
then they could live happily ever after or whatnot. And he can be a non-traditional Muslim living with this woman who's whatever religion she is. I don't even know what she is. But it's not going to happen. And then they visit his father, and he's very, pushing for the Muslim thing and stuff. And then at the end, they wind up breaking up
Claro.
because he wants her to convert. And at their last dinner, he's like, look, you either convert or we're done. And she's like, I'm so sidelined. She was like, apparently so sidelined by this. Like, it smacked her in the face. Like, she couldn't see it coming. And it's like, no, he's a Muslim. If you know anything about the Muslim faith, that is what's going to happen, or you're going to break up. You shouldn't have went to begin with. I mean, the only thing that's keeping you safe right now is the fact that you're in South Africa. Because if you were in an actual Muslim country, you wouldn't have been allowed out the door without being almost completely covered up.
Not just that,
the
but
first
I
thing you
mean,
would have been told is like, you need to put this burqa on. before we go anywhere.
If you talk
and,
back, 5 across the
you know,
face.
don't talk
Yeah.
any. You know, it's not a good thing for you to do. You know, you want diversity. That's one of those things that you can't really bring in together and hope it commingles.
Yeah,
It doesn't work.
yeah, I question what they mean when they say we want diversity. I'm like, what kind of diversity do you want?
No
Again, do
white
you want
people.
someone do you want someone who's wholly different from what you are? They go, diversity is our strength. I'm like, is it though, homie? Because I don't think it is. Now,
That's why
in
the big
yeah,
argument on X is going on right now with the whole migration. And I've been, by the way, I've been on the receiving end of that. I went for an IT job. Come to find out, the entire IT department is one Indian family.
Oh, of course.
And
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the thing is that in a lot of these other cultures that are not based on our values, our very Western values, nepotism isn't just considered to be okay. It is a way of life. It is
Yeah.
how they roll. That is their modus operandi, as opposed to here where we're just like, no, nepotism is seen as bad. It's seen as favoritism, and it's seen as you have a blind spot. We just have different values. And the thing is that I'm not against the idea of hearing from your values, but I can also say, no, I think your values are garbage. Thank you for applying. Please go away now.
Yeah.
So just because someone has a different value doesn't mean it's a good value. I'm all for diverse values if they're better or if they're good or if they're interesting, if they have some sort of value, but not everything is equal. There are things that, we as Westerners used to do that we don't do anymore that were crap. And then there were things that, other nations do that are better. Like I like the idea of you take your shoes off in the house. I'm like, yes, I don't want to track all of that garbage into my house. Good idea.
I feel like
I don't
I
have
should
to.
start adopting that too myself.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't have to keep cleaning my floors. That's amazing. I think that's fantastic. I like eating my chips with chopsticks. That's fantastic. I like certain aesthetics, but the thing is that that's not the same as saying
Chips?
I'm going to change chips,
Chips.
like potato chips.
With chopsticks.
Dude,
Just
you want to
roll
get that
with it.
stuff? You want to get that doodle dust on your fingers and keep wiping them off all the time? I'm doing stuff,
No,
man.
I
I
lick
gotta.
them off. I'm a heathen. I'm a heathen. All the way. A heathen.
Okay, so see, we're diverse in this way. But see, the thing is that this isn't in something that actually like matters. These are small things. These are
But
small
see-
little cultural ticks. But it's not saying I'm going to change my framework. And the thing is that when you were talking about that lady who was dating this Muslim guy and like, I don't see what the big deal is. And oh my gosh, I can't believe he wanted me to convert. Duh, lady. And the thing is that not only that, but he should have wanted you to convert. That should have been on his on his bucket list. They never should have started dating because of the fact that you don't want to date someone who has completely different moral values.
And what's funny is Christianity is the same way. You're not you're not supposed to really date somebody who's non-Christian.
Oh, I absolutely would not. No, I would not date somebody who doesn't subscribe to the same moral framework than I do. Because the thing is that if we come to something where we're at an impasse, and I say, well, this is what our text says, and this is what we believe in, and then he stares at me and goes, I don't understand what you're talking about, then we have a problem. We're not going to be able to see eye to eye. He's going to think that I'm from Cuckoo Town, and I'm going to think that he's from, Pagan Town, and he's morally inferior, and he's going to think that I'm a nutcase. This is no way to build to have a framework of any kind. It's kind of like remember there were these articles that came out where they were saying that, can you believe it? There are these websites that say, if you're conservative, don't even bother signing up to our dating app. And I'm like, good. I mean, if you guys, thank you. Make it easier.
I ran into those and I was like, all right.
Yeah, and people are like, can you believe it? I can't believe they're so closed-minded. I'm like, no, this is just good sense. This is setting yourself up to not fail. Like, I don't understand. If this is important enough to you to screen someone out for this, then you should not try to date someone from this pool. Like these are people that are not, they're not going to understand you. They're not going to be coming from the same place as you. It's not saying that you hate them. This is saying that you don't want to be mated to them. Totally different.
Yeah.
So. All right, that's it. I think my rant's over now. I'm sorry, I had a lot built up. Okay,
but
I was sitting at a dinner
goes
quietly.
into the whole equality thing, right?
Yeah. Not all are equal.
I'm sorry,
No.
not equality. The equity thing.
Yeah.
Right. So it's one thing to have equality. It's another thing for equity, because you're talking about diversity, but you have to make everything equitable, which then of course means you're bringing everything down to a small thing to where everybody is exactly the same. And this
Well,
is
yeah,
Lines are
the problem with a
equitable.
lot of the competitive
Yeah.
games where we were talking about earlier, where like Smogon tries to take out all the randomness into it, and
Yeah.
where they try to balance games to making all the randomness go out of it so it can be competitive and
Yeah.
whatnot, while
That's why I
Marvel
hate Smash
Rivals is
Brothers.
like saying, fuck that, it's fun, we're not going to do that shit. Well, that's the same thing as equity, is when you're trying
Yeah.
to balance things out, you're losing all that diversity, you're losing all that stuff. And that's why when you have Smash Brothers, if you're not playing a speed character for the most part, like Fox or something, you're
Mhm.
probably going to get outclassed at the end of the day, because that's the only viable option.
So I would say that I don't mind balancing to a certain extent. My problem with equity is not that, that they're trying to balance things, because the thing is, I don't mind a level playing field. I mind an even outcome, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you're running a foot race, and if you
Well,
say, okay, well, everybody's going to run on the exact same plane. Everybody starts here, and they all finish there. Whoever gets there the fastest, through the grind, through having worked hard, through just natural talent, whatever, don't care, you get to the you just didn't give up, whatever, you get there. But with
The
equity, what you
winner is
have
you.
is but with equity, what you have is you look at people, and when someone starts doing really well, what you do is you shoot them in the leg, so that so that way they
yeah,
slow
you,
down,
you
and
tie
basically
one leg behind their back or something.
you basically wind up crippling anyone who's good enough, who's strong enough, so that everybody finishes at the same time. And
Yes.
anytime somebody starts pulling ahead, you basically hamstring them slightly until they're slow enough that they are able to keep up with the lazy, the slothful, the untalented, whatever. And the thing is that, no shade on you if you don't have the natural talent. Sometimes you can grind out of it, and sometimes maybe find something else to do, my dude. But I mean, that's the problem with equity, because of the fact that it's lying. Basically, it's saying everybody got here, they all got first place. No, what happened is we had interference from you, putting your thumb on the scale, hurting other people to make them not succeed, to make it so that it's not worth it. You're like, well, why should I grind? Why should I work hard? Why should I do anything that's worth doing?
And I
Because
think,
you're just going to shoot me when I do.
yeah, and I think that's actually a indicative of the mindset of modern day employees in the workforce. Is why bother if all my shit's getting taken at the end of the week anyway?
Yeah, we
Mhm.
started the stream off of why we hate the government 101 again, because my check came in and they took like over 35 hours worth of work
Yeah,
in government
Oh.
taxes.
yeah. That's why I
Oh.
am really all about getting rid of the IRS entirely, getting rid of income tax entirely. Here's the thing:
I mean, I was still happy with my check, but still,
I want to get rid
Yeah.
of
would have been
all
nice to have
taxes.
that
I think income tax is
$700.
the stepping stool.
Never look at gross, man. Never look at the gross. That's the
Yeah,
only
I
way to be
know.
happy. I live in California. You cannot look at the gross.
It's a
You
little
just
hard
can't.
one, too. All
It
right, so
hurts,
let's
man.
move on, shall we, to the next story?
We were talking about taxes, man. I mean,
I
I just
know.
got here.
I know, there's a
Fine.
lot of
This is
catching up.
this is what I get for like visiting family. Okay.
How
God.
Tax
dare you have a
season around
life?
the corner. Tax season is just right around the corner, and I'm sure we
Dude,
can
I'm
all
gonna
get our
owe so
taxes
much. I
done and
don't even want to
complain
think
about
about
it
that,
then.
bro.
All right.
I'm kind of begging that they get rid of the IRS at this point. Otherwise, I'm gonna be just fucked.
So apparently, while we've been holidaying, I guess this new Alyssa McConte here, new
Oh
person,
gosh, she's
sorry.
back.
Alyssa
Why?
McConte
Yeah,
has been
McConte is
back
back.
in the thing, complaining about people. But I have spoken to someone who knows every single major grifter who has gotten popular in the last 10 months. And they all say the same thing. They never acted like this until they started to get.
The hell?
The fuck is that?
I don't know.
That is Meg calling us in Discord.
Well, what? I think Meg accidentally hit the eject button.
She bopped out. Well, she's out of state, out of country, whatever. She's
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
She can come back, I guess. Oh, there she is. Let's pop her back up here.
Sorry.
You're
See, this is what
fine.
happens when you
fine.
stream on a potato. So
We're sitting here going, what the fuck is that? And it's like Meg is calling us in Discord.
yeah, I was trying to zoom in because I'm looking at my tiny little phone and I'm trying to read what this loser said. Okay, there we
I'll
go.
help you out a little bit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And they say the same thing. They never acted like this until they started to get a moniker of internet clout. The person you're giving hundreds of dollars to is playing off your insecurities to secure the bag. You're a mark.
Okay.
And here's what I've got to say to Alyssa. We have been talking about these things for years. Just
Yeah.
because nobody was paying attention to us
Doesn't
well,
mean
they're
they.
still not paying attention to me, but we have been talking
I'm
about
sorry.
it
What'd you say?
for years. I know, right? Let's
The
see.
thing is that, so what she's assuming is that somehow this is fooling people into what? And I'm just like, so the thing is that these people are saying something that resonates with people who are giving the money. And this insults her how? Like, oh, well, they
Because
didn't
she's
really
not
mean
getting
it.
the money.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but the thing is that I'm just like, well, while the thing is that when someone's doing something that you like, that's when you reward them, and when they do things that you don't like, that's when you don't reward them. So if they're saying things that I like, I will give them dollary dues. If they don't really mean it, I don't care. I'm not with them in the wee small hours of the morning. I do not care at all about any of that. I'm like, oh, you said something that I like. Here's a tip for you, my dude, because of the fact that I like the thing that you just said. Continue saying those things, and if he continues saying those things, then he will continue getting dollary dues. If I am so inclined and still have those dollary dues, which I don't because it's Christmas. But
Yeah, tell me about it.
yeah, but the thing is that this is and the thing is that there's one guy I listened to, Hypnotic, and he was like, these people always somehow it always comes down to money. It's never about ideology. It's never about like what you actually think or anything. They'll call you names, but at the bottom of it, they get really pissed off about money. That's the
Yep.
thing that really that they really
That's
focus
why I
on.
said what I said.
Yeah. So I mean, it's really interesting though. They are so fixated on the dollary dues, which proves that this is actually a grift to them. Whether or not it's a grift to people who some of us pay attention to or not
Well,
is not really the point. The thing is
well,
that
it's
these
projection.
people are grifters. Yeah.
It's projection. So here's the problem.
Ooh, good one.
McConte here failed.
You like
as
saying
a-
that, don't you?
Failed as a grifter.
Yeah.
So
So
she
hard.
sees everybody who succeeded.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, just ignore me. I'm trying to bring up
Okay.
some stuff real quick.
So she failed
and it's
on
auto
her
playing 'cause I
grift.
couldn't get it to stop doing shit.
I've been there. But other people who are talking about stuff, but on the flip side, oh God, really? You're going to bring that? I better not say that.
Anyway, so yeah. These grifters probably have been talking about it as long as I have, right? And here we go, videos dating back 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Talking
Yeah.
about Zoe Quinn and shit.
Yep.
Zoe
Mhm.
Quinn Chronicles. The DMCA nut jobs at Sony and all them stuff, like Naughty Dog over here. Like
Yeah.
4 years back, 2 years back. We have been talking. I was making a point while you guys were rambling, but yeah. So we've
Rambling?
been talking about this for years.
I'll have you
Like,
know
I
we were
have a
making fantastic
playlist.
points.
I have a playlist like the Bethesda Chronicles here and the Blizzard Chronicles that just hyper focus on Bethesda and Blizzard's nonsense.
Yeah.
Going back 6 fucking years, for crying out loud.
Yeah. Back when he wasn't so fat.
Yeah, I was definitely not as fat then. But
At least you got hair. I mean, oof.
I still have my hair at least. Yeah, WoW player housing, BitChute gets canceled. Stadia, Rule 34. Microsoft, Atari, all sorts of things here.
I
Death
think
of
that this.
Mixer.
I don't think
we've
that this
been talking
actually.
about this shit for years, guys.
Yeah, I don't think that this is actually even supposed to convince anyone. This is wailing to the wind, and this is copium. This is
Yep.
so that their side feels okay. Oh, these people are making all this money. Yeah, but they don't really mean it. And all the people who listen to them are just stupid. They're just gullible. And this makes
Oh,
them
yeah.
feel good about themselves. Oh, well, we're smarter than those people. So if you listen to them, that's just because you're stupid. No, it's because I concur with what they said. I'm not going to go and do a backlog check on all of that stuff. Maybe they changed their mind. Maybe they're lying right now. Don't care. What they said right now actually resonates, and they will get support as long as they say things that actually resonate and are true. I don't care
And
what
that,
they actually mean. That's between them and Jesus.
and that's the thing, though. A lot of these people, they bring up things like
Mhm.
this. Like right now, I'm sure multiple people made a video talking about this specific thing, showed this tweet, and then probably brought up examples where they had been talking about this prior to 10 months.
Oh yeah, 10 months ago, bro.
Yeah,
What are
like
you new?
Yeah.
she is. Yes, she is. She is very new at this because she inserted herself about 10 months ago into this whole debacle.
Oh, the world didn't start until she noticed it.
That's
Oh my
right. When
gosh, this
Yeah.
she
is
noticed it, the world finally started spinning. Everything was new. We were all just born.
Nothing happened before her birth
nothing
date.
happened before her birthday of that, all that good jazz because she's one of those narcissists.
You
And
know what? This is actually a problem that you have in a lot of modern movies too, where basically nothing happens until the camera's on those characters. Like a lot of
yeah,
times you'll go, "Wait, what were these people doing? Like they were off camera, but they still had to be doing things." It's like, no, they were frozen in molasses all this time. It makes
oh,
no
yeah.
sense.
Don't you
But
know it?
this
If
is
the
how these
camera's not on you, you just freeze.
Yeah, and this is how these people think. Nobody exists unless I notice them. Nobody has their
Yeah.
own thoughts. Everything is in the context of me
I
and
mean,
my noticing.
you know, Total Biscuit, God rest his soul. We may differ tremendously politically. He
Hmm.
was fighting these very same people like Alyssa Marconte years ago.
Yeah.
Long before she was, just a twinkle in anybody's eyes that should have gotten swallowed instead. He was talking about the very same shit. The ethics of games journalism and how unethical these fuckers are.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Gamergate won.
Yes.
these are just empty vessels, honestly. They're
Yeah.
they're I mean, I'm not a huge proponent of therapy in general. Usually I'm kind of like of the walk it off variety, but yeah, these people actually need some sort of intervention. Like maybe somebody to just like yell at them, like maybe you
They
should
need a
grow up
drug.
and it's not all about you. But but I think that at this point they're not going to come to they're not going to come to Jesus on
Oh,
their
look,
own. Like they actually need to have divine intervention.
they don't need
So
therapy. They need a drill sergeant. Is what they need.
No,
well,
and
yes, but that is therapeutic.
actually,
It is to, you know, recontextualize the way that they view life because
Yeah.
of the fact that currently it is wrong, and it's going to lead to no good things, not just for them but for society as a whole, because of the fact that they're poison. So I mean, you could say, okay, well, it doesn't matter because it's not me, but the thing is, like, this poison is still in the well and we still have to share a society with them. They're still speaking into the world a lot of nonsense, a lot of poison. Now, to be fair, it does kind of let us like all gather together and laugh at them, and it makes us stronger and our bonds are stronger because, we can share a common enemy.
Yeah, and
But
that's why I called her that because I know what she did to JT.
now,
oh my gosh,
what we
dude.
never did
But
talk
I mean,
about,
to be
because I forgot
fair, I
to add
mean,
it,
this
but
this is kind of a what you meant for evil has been used for good kind of thing.
yeah,
I
like
mean, Keith's
this,
gotten so much notice because of her shenanigans.
Yeah,
oh
This
yeah, like
JT definitely earned it too.
but
Yeah.
she has filed a lawsuit against him.
It's
And
so funny.
remember how she was like she wasn't fired from who was it? Kotaku? Is that what she
Kotaku,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it turns out she was, and now she
Yeah.
blames JT for it.
It's like,
And it's
no.
one of those things because she files this lawsuit. It
No
breaks at
self-reflection.
around the same
None.
time as she's saying she wasn't fired and all this other stuff,
Mhm.
and claiming that she wasn't. Then she files this lawsuit,
And then she learned what
and
discovery was.
it shows that she was, and she blames JT for it. And it's like
It was
what?
it was 54 pages of wah. And and the thing is that most of it is refuted or disproven in some way, shape, or form by
A
her
lot
own
of it,
tweets,
yeah, I was about
which
to
you
say, a
know
lot
that
of
these
it
people
she
have
is true.
archived.
Which is what they've all done too, right?
Oh yeah, they've
Like
archived it.
you
They've
know,
got it in their
like
own
us
videos.
here,
It's so funny.
JT, and several of other people who have been
Hmm.
following this religiously and talking about it. You know,
Yeah,
that they just show her tweets and
yeah,
talk
and it's
about it.
hilarious. Yeah,
And she's filed a lawsuit claiming that he's tortiously interfering with her everything as a result, essentially, and defaming her. And it's like, they're your words. In fact, recently, I think she purged a
yeah.
good chunk of her social media along with several others, like straight
Oh
up
yeah.
purged it. And it's like,
Hmm.
right now, you're in the middle of a lawsuit, which means, and it's directly related to your Twitter and everything else, right?
Yeah.
You should not be purging that, because I am pretty sure there is probably an order for you to preserve evidence at this moment,
Well, it absolutely
because they're
makes
just
you
going to
look
bring it up
guilty.
and
Yeah.
show it. And it's like, oh, and by the way, she also purged it from her feed to make it harder to find, but we've already got it archived.
Also,
Not
by the way, she's probably going to be held in contempt for that
that.
because she purged her social media while in a court case,
Hmm.
and
Oh yeah, and there's this too: the fact that her address gets redacted from all the forums,
Yeah, but
which
she
is
publishes his.
ludicrous, but publishes his
Yeah,
due to
no,
threats
knowing that her
against
side.
her
Hmm.
as the basis of the lawsuit. But such information will be revealed in the court in camera. Uh, it's just like, what? Like,
These are people who have been who
I
are
don't think
they.
that should be illegal, or that should be legal.
I don't
To
think it
be
is.
totally honest, I think if you are doing a lawsuit, your information, unless you were such a high priority, figure or something, I don't know. Even that, if you are a high priority, your information's probably long out there. It doesn't really matter at that point, right?
well, here's the thing: if you're going to redact one, redact the other.
But yeah, if you're
Yeah,
going to redact one, you should redact the other for the exact same reason at that point.
Yeah,
yeah,
I think that should be like a law at this point, because the fact that you can actually file a lawsuit and have a motion and just redact your own thing without the motion, right?
yeah.
Like, because what is it here? 27 plaintiff Alyssa Mercanta is a resident in New York. Blah blah blah.
explains
Alyssa
everything.
Mercante's address is redacted herein due to threats made against her as the basis of this lawsuit. And it's like, that should
Does she
not be
have?
allowed to be filed.
Does she
Like,
have any
somebody should.
evidence of threats against her life? I mean, other
Oh,
than
I'm
just
sure
people
she
being.
does. She
I haven't
posts.
seen any
I
though.
think she
She
was one of the
posts
ones who
that.
did it, but it was one of those, you could just go and make that up yourself right now,
Yeah.
because I think we did it on stream with one of them.
Yeah.
Because it was like from this rando, and it's like,
There's
oh, I just sent
websites.
myself a death threat. Hey, guys, I got a death threat from Alyssa Mercante here.
Yeah, there's
that I've
websites where
made
you can
myself.
fake that.
and stuff like that. And it was just, there was nothing credible.
Yeah, that's the thing. She's provided no evidence of any of these things,
And
which
this
makes
one
me think
here,
that this is.
this was apparently in the lawsuit too,
Yeah,
about how he's defaming her by saying that.
She's
Yeah.
the one
But
that said
essentially,
it.
all he did was quote her. And
Yeah.
say it.
and
I
then make
mean,
jokes about it.
I
Like-
agree with her.
Hey,
It's probably the only
joke or
time.
not, like, I get that.
How dare
I
he believe me?
I honestly take that as a joke, because it is a joke, right? Everybody
Yeah.
with a mind would take that as a joke. But when you do that, and then your joke is used against you, I mean, you wrote it.
I mean,
Well,
look,
I mean, she's the one who said that she did sex work. She's
Yeah.
the one who said
I mean,
that
she may have actually done it.
Well, no, and the thing is that even in this
well, how do you think she got the
54
job?
even in this 54-page wine fest of nonsense, she actually said, oh well, I mean, I did some sort of sex work, but it wasn't hardcore or anything. It was something like pictures of some porn, and they were they were tasteful and everything. I'm like, based on what you've said, what you've put out there into the world, whether or not you're joking or just being very flippant about it is irrelevant. He can only go off of what information you have put out there. What you've put out there is, I was a sex worker, and then you say I sucked dick. Those are the things that you said. That's all he knows. So he's going to take that as gospel. You cannot blame him for believing you.
To be fair, though,
Mm-hmm.
we all seen her suck dick as a Kotaku editor.
I thought she blew, but whatever.
Oh gosh, is that the
Inhale,
actual
exhale,
lawyer?
whatever.
Is that the lawyer? That's the lawyer.
Yes,
That's
it
the
is.
lawyer. Wow.
Yes, it is.
Man, they really letting anybody pass that bar now, ain't they? That bar is below the ground.
Yeah, it's like apparently JT has declared that Kotaku to be everything wrong with the video game industry. Listen, I'm sure I have said it in the past, something similar to that, because I've talked about Kotaku in past videos way back when. But yes, Kotaku is one of the things that is everything that is wrong with the video game industry. I'm sorry, but it's true. Like
It's
Kotaku, and those other ones,
IGN.
Mary Sue, IGN, and several of those other
There's one like
rags,
called Pink, I
they
think.
are absolutely everything that is wrong with gaming, because for for the longest time, it's like you can't even get any. Gosh, what was it? It's like you get a paragraph about what the actual thing's supposed to be about, and then 7 about TDS or some bullshit.
Yeah, it's basically it's basically
like,
7 paragraphs of their social sciences dissertation, and then 1 paragraph about, oh yeah, the game's kind of fun. It's useless, and it actually pisses me off. I'm like, you waste my time. I literally just want to know about this game, and you told me nothing except about who you are, and I don't care.
There was a company that did an article using just like ChatGPT, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I can't remember what company it was. I think it might have been IGN, but I'm not for sure. And they saw that the reader, their reader thing went up. They got more traction using AI than they did these numbnuts.
Well,
This
yeah,
should tell you
AI.
everything.
Yeah, AI is at least neutrally annoying, as opposed to.
Speaking of GPT, I was curious. I told it to write me an article about Alyssa Marcante real quick.
Okay.
Did you give it any framework?
No, I just said, write me an article about Alyssa Marcante just to see what it would pull up. So this is what we've got so far. This is Alyssa Marcante by ChatGPT. Alyssa Marcante is a journalist and editor renowned for her contributions to the video game industry. She earned her MA in Modern and Contemporary Literature from Newcastle University in 2016. Newcastle University citation. Following her graduation, Mercante relocated to Brooklyn, New York, where she began her career in gaming's journalism. She joined Kotaku, a leading gaming and media website, eventually rising to the position of senior editor. During her tenure, she specialized in gaming, televisions, and entertainment content, with a particular focus on reviews and popular series such as Netflix's The Witcher. Her work has been featured in notable outlets including Quartz, Rolling Stones, and Jezebel. Wow, Jezebel's another.
Oh, yeah, that's one of the worst.
In November 2024, Mercante announced her departure from Kotaku after 2 years of senior editor role. She expressed gratitude for the editorial team and indicated that the decision was made prior to any announced layoffs at the company. She also hinted at an upcoming project, stating, I have some things coming down the pike, so keep your eyes peeled. Throughout her career, Mercante has been an active voice in the gaming community, engaging in discussion on various platforms. She maintains a presence on social media, including Instagram, where she shares her personal insights and experience. Mercante contributes have been recognized within the industry, and she continues to influence gaming journalism through her work and commentary. Oh gosh, that was hard to read.
See, the thing is though, that was benign. It was
Yeah,
wrong.
that was pretty benign.
It was wrong, but it was benign. The thing is that that was
And
what I was saying, is that
that
AI is not
article
full
is
of
way better than anything that Kotaku would have written.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it's not seeping with disdain and hatred for a
Now,
certain sector
write
of the
it in
populace.
the style of Kotaku. I wonder if it would change it.
Ooh.
It might talk more about her activism and how she's able to see subtext and nuance in whatever, and the fights she's had with gamers maybe, but I don't know. The thing is that AI can only get what's actually out there in written form, and AI is going to glean from things that are quote unquote trusted sources, and trusted sources would not be necessarily what's actually out there, which we know to be the truth, you know.
Uh,
All right, so
Oh my
now I
gosh.
asked it to write it in the style of Kotaku.
Oh gosh.
okay.
So we get a look back at her impactful career in journalism. That's the title of this thing.
Mhm.
It didn't even give me a title for the first one. Let's see. From literature to the gaming grind, the Kotaku years, what's next, why she matters.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Anyway, we absolutely could use Chat GPT to write articles for Kotaku, guys.
That are less insufferable than Kotaku
Yeah.
by itself.
And we can do it in their style.
Yeah.
That seems like a Kotaku article right there, just how they would write it too.
Yeah, I mean the thing is that the difference between the reason that you want to have a human being is because of the fact that there is nuance in the way that we approach things. We have separate little things with idioms, but the thing is that the more that we get into this woke stuff where people pretend that they don't know what words mean so that they can actually try to twist what you actually
I
mean
gaslight
or
you.
or gaslight you into believing something else. Well, then in
Yeah.
that case, it's better to just have Chat GPT. The one boon of having a human being is because of the fact that we understand subtext.
Hear
But
that,
when they're
localizers?
yeah, but when they're wiping all of that out, then you're actually worse than just having an overly literal version of everything. Basically having Drax, do all of this stuff for you. It's ridiculous. I'm done. Go ahead.
Okay. Anyway,
Next.
so Alyssa Mercante, for everyone who was interested. Let's move on to the next thing. Intergalactic surpasses Concord's dislike. Surpasses Concord's dislike.
That's 3. Probably more.
Probably. Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, smug bald face.
So yeah, it's got more dislikes on it than Concord did. I wonder how well it's going to do at launch.
So the thing about this is that it just looks so insufferable. Concord just looked like garbage that you don't want to play. It was like, okay, well, I'm not going to play that, lol, but that's it. This looks like someone that you actually want to punch in the face a little bit.
Well,
the
the problem is the story also leaked, and it was so bad.
Oh, it's terrible.
If that's accurate, then I got the phone. This is going to tank.
The dislikes are at 263K now.
Lol.
Yeah.
Lamau.
Oh, let's see. What is Concord's Concord gameplay trailer?
Yeah, but I mean, you guys remember this though, right? Like it didn't strike you like aggressively one way or the other. It just looked like I don't want to play that. It looks stupid.
Yeah, that's the
like
thing
this,
is I don't know.
Intergalactic doesn't look
It actually
stupid.
went up 1K since the screenshot was taken.
Intergalactic looks insufferable. It looks like it would just piss you off. It grates at you. It's different. Like I said, that's why Concord would have fewer dislikes. It would be like, I ain't playing that. That's stupid. As opposed to, ugh, I hate this. I hate these people. What is wrong with them?
And if
Why
that
are they like
story
this?
is anything to go by, if that was leaked, it's not going to be that fun.
It's not. It's going to have plot holes out the wazoo.
Well, it's a story of grievance and not building your own society because you're so busy being pissed off at people, at like the ancestors of people who did something to you generations and generations ago. And I'm like, so you have a thriving society?
On that planet embody the left.
Yes, exactly.
Other. They're so pissed off at something that is so removed from them at this point that they should have just gone and done their own thing.
Yeah, they will not build. All they want to do is destroy something else. And I'm like, so you could have
Yeah,
a
I wonder
thriving
how their
society.
society is going to fall.
Which is
Yeah.
why we can predict that the good ending for that game is you helping them destroy Super Earth.
Yeah, because they do not and that's the thing, that's a problem with a lot of these games. They do not understand good and
Well,
evil
well, that's
as
another
the
thing.
majority of human beings do. At least not in the West.
Yeah, a lot of these developers, a lot of these activists, let's be real, they can't even fathom that they are the brown coats. They are the what they claim to be, you know,
They're the
projection. All
baddies.
that. Yeah, are we the baddies? They don't even get to that.
They don't know the difference between good or bad, which is why the Acolyte was such a disaster. It's like
Oh,
you don't
gosh.
even know what a Jedi is, for starters. You don't know how to
Right.
even write a freaking Jedi. I mean, that whole opening thing where she goes in and assassinates that Jedi at the bar. It's just
Ugh.
like, why? Like, none of those actions that were taken there were fitting a Jedi at all. And you can do an evil Jedi, like, and not have them a Sith, right? Like wolf in sheep's clothing thing can be a
Mhm.
thing that could be happened and explored in a Star Wars story. Why not?
Yeah.
But they're not going to be like that.
I mean, you know
It's
what?
going to be way more craftier than that. It's going to be one of those things you don't see until they want you to know that they've been the bad the whole
Attack
damn
me.
time. Right?
Attack me with all of your might. Okay,
And,
thank
and
you.
it's like, that's not the Jedi way. Like, the Jedi.
It's not even the ninja way. She goes in like a ninja.
It's not even the ninja
That's not
way,
how
but-
you. This isn't how you assassinate somebody. I'm
And then
sorry.
The fact that she just assassinates her with, like, not even a vibro knife.
No.
Like, I mean, it's just like,
But then, like,
is
somebody
this a
survives a
brand new
freaking
Padawan that we
lightsaber to the
You
chest.
might as well have been assassinating a Padawan who has had zero training at that point. Because
Yeah.
even, the younglings could probably defend against a normal knife with no
Yeah.
problems. A jink, and it's gone, and it's not an issue. But, the
Yeah.
fact that she just sits there and lets everybody else get their ass handed to them the entire time, it's like, that's not how that works. That's more befitting of a Sith, if anything.
Yeah,
Well,
but,
yeah,
the
that's-
camera
But they're
but the
not
camera
supposed to
wasn't
be
on
Sith.
her. But the camera wasn't on her, so she ceased to exist until the camera caught up with her again.
She
So
doesn't exist.
that's how
she was
that went.
frozen in time
Would-
the whole
you know,
time.
it's funny you say that, Meg, because this is a little tangent, but I'll keep it short.
All right,
Well,
yeah.
mute Chad.
That is the exact reason that I threw my hands up and said, "Okay, I'm done with Borderlands," because I was
The
off
movie or the
camp.
game?
Sure,
It was frozen in time.
the game.
Okay.
Borderlands 3, you fight a boss. You're there in the room with an arsenal of guns, more guns than the average American. Well, maybe not.
Eh.
And
On par.
the twins who are the big bads,
Mhm.
they are stood up to by a little child, and you're just sitting there with your hand on your doing nothing. When this could have been one of those unwinnable fights kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
go back to the ship and they're like, "Oh, you did all you could." I was like, "The fuck I did."
Well, see what they should have done if they were good writers,
Oh,
Mhm.
better
dude.
writers, right?
Oh,
What they should have done was you get your ass handed to you. You're
Yeah.
crippled. You're on the ground trying to get back up, and then
And then the
goes
kid
and
jumps
stands
in.
between the two
Yes.
of you, and you've
Mhm.
got that visual of your hand doing this number here or something with the gun, trying to do the thing, but your
Yeah.
aim isn't steady because you've been knocked around and all that good stuff, and then the shit happens.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
would have
and the
been
thing
a
is-
better way to write that than it would be to just freeze you in place, then have you fight afterwards.
but
Well, yeah.
no.
And
go
the
ahead.
thing is that the thing that would make it the most impactful would be you have your boss fight, you get BTFO'd, and then you are on the ground and you're trying to move and you really just can't anymore. And
Yeah,
the thing is that then that's when the kid runs in, jumps between the two of you, and then the bad guy looks at the kid with this look of disdain, and then they look at you and see you trying to be like, no, no, and then they go, remember this and live with this. This is your fault, and then they kill the kid. And the thing is that makes it personal. You hate them so much more because they did it specifically to make you live with that guilt on purpose. And they're saying this is on you. And when everybody says it's not, you know that they did it to piss you off, to say that this is to try to pin this on you, to try to make you live with this guilt, and you deal with that throughout the game.
And I wonder if anyone.
I didn't even play this game, and I'm mad.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't either, but I wonder if anyone
by the way, I
brought that up. And somebody in the writer room, because they're so against like cliches and stuff like that and tropes and shit, went up and was like, well, no, that's a trope that's always been done. But do you know why it's been done? Because
it works.
Like in Chrono Trigger, you fight Lavas. It is an unwinnable fight for you. You get your ass handed to you. And what does Chrono do? He gives you precious seconds, sacrificing himself for everybody to teleport away to fight again another day, getting himself completely evaporated by Lavas's power.
But literally
it
not
is
even
effective for a reason.
Yeah, not even his soul, a shred of his soul.
Yeah, it may be a trope that has been done countless times through various games at this point, but it's an effective trope, which is why tropes are not bad. This idea of having something to go after, or the damsel in distress in Mario or something like that, it's not a bad trope. It's effective.
Well, there's nothing new under the sun.
With that.
There's nothing new under the sun. People have not changed. We've gotten better tools. We've got more things. Our language has changed over the years, but at bottom we are the same. And there are only certain number of things that actually motivate us, and the thing is that most stories wind up being, I don't know, one of 7 things. I think it comes down to. Somebody actually did the study on it where they're like, oh yeah, you can break all stories down into like a certain number of categories, or they're completely stupid. So yes, this is true. It may be a trope to have, somebody gets killed that's close to you and then you're on a revenge arc. Yes, that's been done. It's been done to death. However, that's because it works, and it's something that speaks to the human condition. Having you not care at all, or just sitting there twiddling your thumbs while something happened, and then go, "Oh wait, I really didn't want that to happen. Dang, what?" That doesn't happen because it's not good, and it doesn't speak to anything in the human being. It
I want to set this up real quick too. Maya is the only character in this whole game up to this point that I even remotely cared about.
Oh.
And this is including the old cast of heroes, because they neutered them to beyond reason.
No.
They gave one of the coolest characters, Lilith, PTSD because reasons.
I like Lilith anyway.
Yeah, well, you trust me, you wasn't in this.
I'm sure.
Go ahead. This is right after you beat the boss.
I'm trying to keep you safe.
By just ditching me on the ship? You said I could be a vault hunter like you. You promised.
You will. When you're ready.
This is terrible acting.
What's up, bitches? Ow, Troy, look what they left for us.
Thanks for doing all the hard work.
It's Timu, Handsome Jack.
All thieves only think with your trigger fingers, huh?
Handsome Jack.
Keep this up and I'll
Now, keep in mind,
real.
we are not bound by anything currently.
That's what I said.
You're not even in the cutscene.
Now, let me do my thing.
They're just letting her absorb the monster's power, as you would.
Why are you just standing there?
No! What are you doing?
Right?
Taking what's ours.
Oh, wait, is that supposed to be the player
the monsters
character?
Don't protect
No.
Oh, okay.
the power of the vaults.
Where are you? You were just there.
And now it's all mine.
Hey, save any for the parasite?
Yeah.
Ugh, this is so lame.
Oh, it gets so much worse. We haven't gotten to the bad part.
We're leaving. Now.
We should be kicking their asses.
She's right. She's completely right.
You I get, but what's her deal? She's no one. I'm your problem.
I'm gonna be a siren, and then I'm gonna mop the floor with assholes like you.
You're gonna... Is that how you think this works?
Hey, that's you in the background there, behind her, by the door. Letting a kid get the crap beat out of her and your friend die.
Put her down. That's what I thought.
Maya!
Ava, don't.
Yep, you're there just watching this all happen.
Wait, you're not even on the screen?
You just fought that giant thing they absorbed, so you're still there, watching this happen, doing
She
nothing.
turned into a book?
She had the book on her.
No!
It's just a journal.
I thought you could only take from me.
I guess it's any siren.
Come on. We got what we came for.
Yeah, a lot more. But hey, if that siren thing ever works out for you,
Why would you not take her? If you're the big bad, why would you not kidnap this kid that could potentially become a threat? None of this makes sense.
No, if I'm a bad guy, I'm killing everybody in this room.
Yeah.
Well, we killed the
So,
siren.
wait.
While you
So
stood there
you're
and watch it.
you're in this room somewhere?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I
So,
haven't seen
go
you. I
back-
thought
go
that
back
your
to the
character
beginning.
was the lady.
Go all the way to the beginning.
Nope, it's gonna bring you right back up to where you were here in a second. Yep,
Oh,
there
yeah.
you are. Like literally feet from it.
Yeah.
The entire time you've been standing there.
Gone.
They don't even show you on camera. Like you should have like some sort of reaction. You should be behind some sort of barrier. Make
Well-
it make sense.
Like here, this is you walking in up onto it right there.
Yeah.
And you just watch
you
this
just
whole thing happen.
watch-
You just watch this whole
Go
thing
down.
happen. By the way,
They-
in this game, you carry multiple guns. If they open up the menu, you'll see like 30 guns. They could have used any one of these guns right here. 1, 2, 3. They don't got the fourth slot unlocked, whatever. Look at backpack. There's
They've
15
got
out
a
of 19
backpack of
guns.
15 guns there, so
But I mean, they. The thing is, this is terrible filmmaking. Honestly, this is just, the director. It should be punched in the face repeatedly.
No,
Like this
that-
is
that
not how
should have
this
been a
works.
thing that happened while you weren't there.
Yeah,
To
Like I
stop
said,
it.
you-
The fact
or-
that you
or-
were there fucks it all up.
or they could have had a force field that was down or something like that. It's kind of like in what is it? What was it?
Oh,
The Phantom Menace, where Obi-Wan couldn't get to Qui-Gon, and he
Yeah,
had to
because of
watch
the
the fight with
fields.
Darth Maul, and he's trying to get by, and he
Trying to get
gets
there,
through
can't
just in
get
time.
there in
Yes,
time.
exactly.
Yeah.
Explain it. You see, and the thing is that while this fight is happening, you keep doing cuts back to the very impatient guy who's trying to get there. They needed to have that in there. You're not there. You don't exist. They
Yeah.
just forgot about you. I thought that you were actually the blue-haired chick who gets dusted at the end. I was like, oh no, this was actually not you. Because I was
No.
like, well, clearly you're not the child. So, I was like, oh, well, they gave you that character. Okay,
so
well,
by the way, this gets so much worse past this. You go back
Can
to the
it?
ship. Yeah.
it's
So you go back to the ship, and the little girl is pissed, right? Which
Yeah.
I would agree. And
Yeah.
Lilith and the other castrated crew say, you did all that you could. Don't blame yourself. And I'm like, no, I blame me. I blame
I
a
mean-
lot of me.
at the very least, just have you get damage when you beat the bad guy. Like you beat the big bad guy, and it does a final explosion, and that blows you up, and you're kind of on the ground, kind of like, whoa,
Or have
or
them
something and you're slowly trying to get through, but you just can't. You can't get it together,
Yeah.
And you finally get your gun up right when they disappear. They kind
They
of
could
look
have
at you and
blasted
smirk, and
you
then
through the doorway and then shut the door using their MacGuffin. I don't care. Something that said
Well-
you were not there.
or that you were not able to act. Like you don't
Yeah.
even exist in this whole scene. Like I said, I thought that you were the blue hair chick. I thought that
Yeah.
that was who your character is, because
And
that
keep in
otherwise it
mind-
makes no sense.
Maya was the only likable character, and she was killed
Very
off
sorry.
immediately. And well, she was from Borderlands 2. She was a playable character back then. Then in
Mhm.
Borderlands 3, she went to this monastery to train this little girl, who obviously is a little. She's a kid, so she's going to be impulsive like that. So I didn't
Yeah.
mind that.
Yeah,
But
no,
the
that
kid
it makes
had-
sense, but she's annoying.
The kid, yeah.
They always are, though. I mean, it
Yeah.
makes sense, but kids be annoying. Sorry.
But what kills me is that the kid is right. Every time she's annoying, she's like, "You could have done something." Yes, I could have. Then the whole crew is like, "No, they did their best." I'm like, "No, I did not.
You just
I
stood
did."
there and watched it.
Yeah,
You
I
sat down, ate
if
an
this was a
apple.
court of law, I would be
scrolled on
arrested for
TikTok or
accessory to
something.
murder.
you were sitting in the background scrolling TikTok while she got dusted.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
And
was
then looked
no
up and was like,
reaction
"Oh,
shot
should I
of
do
you.
something now?"
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I was like, you know what? The moment this is the moment. By the way, this is the cutscene. Is the moment that Borderlands died for me. I
Did you
loved
finish
one.
this game?
No,
Oh,
I didn't finish it. I went a little further because I like this can't be. No.
yeah. They
And
gotta
then
fix it, right? And then they did not fix it.
no, and the people like this game, and people are wrong. This is actually in my top 3 worst games ever. It might be the worst game I've ever played.
And it's probably not because of the fact that the game is bad on its own. It probably is bad on its own, but the thing is that it also it comes from a legacy. People say, "Oh, well, let this game stand on its own." No, dude. If you're part 3, then you have to contend with 1 and 2. You
Yeah.
are not by yourself. You are
2
part of
was
a long
amazing.
story.
2 was
Yeah.
But
fun.
this is one of those things where it suffers from bad writers
Hmm.
who don't deserve to be in the writing room. They need to bring somebody back who knows what the fuck they're doing.
It comes
And
from a
they
bad
need to
director,
stop letting
honestly.
people change things too, because like in
Bad
World of
voice
Warcraft,
actors,
they
but
have retroactively
Ugh.
changed a ton of stuff because the current day writers don't like what the old writers did because they can do better or whatnot, and the game has never been good as it used to be back in the day ever since. But like they retroactively went back, and apparently Hellscream was too harsh on my Banshee Queen when he called her a bitch, and they had to remove that entire sound file and everything out of the game and rewrite it because
Why exactly?
writers decided that that was somehow bad.
The game was rated for adults, if I remember right. Or
Yeah. I mean, even PG-13. I mean, I'm sorry. If you're trying to kill someone, calling them a
No,
name is
I mean,
probably not the worst that you can do to them.
That was probably
No.
actually the worst word
Meg,
that's
murder,
ever in
crime,
that game, to be
betrayal,
totally
and
honest,
genocide.
because when it happened, it threw everybody off and was like, did Hellscream really just say that? That is fucking awesome, because you've never heard anything that bad before.
Yeah.
Wow, up to that point, but he was so pissed off at
Now let's
yeah, I can't remember her name now. Sylvanas.
Sylvanas,
He,
yeah.
he straight up called her a bitch.
Well, let's take
I was like, damn.
let's take a count here. Murder, betrayal, genocide.
Oh, we
all
did that too.
all okay, but don't you dare say a naughty word.
Yeah. There is I don't know if you probably didn't watch what is that show, the awful show Velma,
No.
and there was yeah,
I tried.
and the thing is that there was this one part where Daphne and Velma get into a fight because that's what they're always doing. It's either that or
Oh,
losing out
I
because it was
stole
terrible.
that part.
And so there's this one part where Daphne basically beats the crap out of Velma. She kicks her into a wall, and there's like blood out of her head and everything. So, the thing is that before then, what Velma had done is she had stolen her diary and read it to everybody, which, I mean, it had nothing in it. But anyway, so she goes to the guidance counselor, and they're saying that you have to apologize to Daphne, and she goes, "Dude, she kicked me so hard, like my tubes are tied," or something like that. And then the guidance counselor says, "Yes, but you hurt her feelings, and that's much worse." And the thing is that I'm like, well, are you actually making fun of wokeness? Because that's what that sounds like. Because that actually is how people feel now. The thing is that's why a lot of people on the left were like, no, this isn't left wing. This is a right wing person who's trying to
Yeah.
make us look bad. We're like, no, I think they're taking it to your
Yeah,
logical conclusions,
it's
actually.
funny because
But it's the same
sometimes they
thing.
do that, right? Like they'll
Sometimes
do
they
a
tell the truth
thing,
and it's
it
funny.
completely makes fun of their ideology or whatnot, their values and stuff. And the second rightoids or whoever, whatever you want to call them, notice it and like, oh, that's pretty cool. And they're like, no, that's not what it is. It's like shit. What is that one show?
Punisher.
The Boys. The Boys,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It's like you look at it and it's like you can clearly see a difference between ideologies here, left and right, and you can pin
Mhm.
them into spots, right?
Yeah.
They're like, no, because Homelanders is like an allegory for Trump, and all this. It's like, yeah, but that's what a leftist would do. Like
Yeah.
every one of you, if you had the ability of Homelander, you would be a spitting image of what they've made him out to be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
we
sorry,
haven't
but the
we haven't
people who are
forgotten.
actually trying to stop him are more aligned with conservative values.
Yeah, we
Including the
haven't.
wimpy guy who's just kind of been thrust into it.
Yeah.
Because his girlfriend got killed by one of the supers at the very start of the thing. They're more right wing than the supposed villains here, which are way more in tune with the left wing of politics. I'm sorry. I know even the creator came out and was like, no, it really is. That's an allegory for Trump and Trump people and the MAGA people and all this other stuff. It's like, that's great and all, but it's a damn spitting image for you people.
Yeah, well,
For
the thing is that
all
they
you
don't.
people on your side, that is
They do.
exactly what you would do. Somebody laughs at you in a crowd, I guarantee you, if you could shoot lasers and pop his head, you'd fucking do it. A
Yeah, they
conservative
do not.
won't do that.
They do not understand what they are, what they have become, and what they make this headcanon about what they actually believe, and they think that that's how it goes. And like, you guys do realize you were calling for concentration camps. You guys were calling
Yeah.
for people to be depersoned, to be basically starving, to have their children taken away because they
Lose your
disagreed with you
job.
about a vaccine. That's I mean, that is this one of the smallest things over which to be like, you're gonna die. Okay, well, let me continue dying then. Leave me alone, bro. Go away.
Yeah.
So the thing is,
Yeah.
though, but what they were calling for over the stupidest things, and as soon as they felt that they had this moral high ground, they took that and ran so hard with it. And I'm like, guys, do you not actually see what you have become? And no, they haven't. They haven't had that mirror put up to themselves yet. And when it is, they go, oh no, that's not what you
Oh, they
believe.
lose
This is
their
just a
mind.
right-wing satire. And I'm like,
I still can't get over the fact that like the New York Times or whatever, that prestigious thing in New York, did write 4 articles about my little town. Well, I mean, it's the biggest county in the state, but my little
Mhm.
town, saying that we were going to kill the entire fucking state because we weren't forcing some kind of vaccine mandate on people. Like, there were
Well,
4 fucking articles talking about the town going, this town is going to eradicate Tennessee. We need to be prepared for refugees from Tennessee and all
I
this other
remember
shit. And
that.
it's like, what the fuck are you people talking about?
The whole
Outside of
I'm
your
like, I
big
need to
box
move to
stuff,
Tennessee.
like your McDonald's, Subways are one and only Walmart. They're the only ones following any of these corporate mandates. The rest of us are working like nothing's fucking happening. I worked through COVID like it didn't even fucking exist.
Same.
Yeah.
Like,
Same.
seriously,
I lived in California.
I mean, they
That was
put in
nothing.
stop gaps, like everybody took their temperature every time they went into the facility and all this other stuff, right?
Oh, dude, we had
And
to
it
do that.
ran
I
a little
hated
hot,
that.
which really sucks because I naturally run slightly hotter than normal. And I had to be like, look, guys,
I always thought you
I
were hot.
understand corporate says this, but I am going to run a few degrees above normal constantly because I always do.
Yeah.
But outside of that, we ran like nothing happened, and then the schools did their things. But aside from that, we ran as business as normal.
Yeah.
And
I
it
think
sucked
it was.
for going to Walmart because it was the only place we have in town. And since
Yeah.
corporate Walmart decided everything was only opening through certain hours for so many people and stuff, it was pain in the ass. But then we had Amazon, so
Yeah.
Yeah, Amazon totally did full advantage of that. Do you want to finish the next stuff or?
Oh yeah, let's go on. I ain't working tomorrow.
Sweet.
Anyway, so next on the list, Warhammer 40k might be recovering slightly. It might be healing, apparently. So Warhammer 40k walks back the female custodies attempted retcon. So there's apparently
Nice.
a video out there I need to go find and watch. But
Okay.
feeling all sentimental right now because the 12-minute video. Let's see, female custodies are dead.
Sugoi.
I meant to actually look more into this and never got around to it.
Well, we can do a recap next week. Come back.
Apparently,
We're going to
supposedly-
circle back around.
Yeah, we may have to because I didn't get a chance to really research this one like I wanted to. It's been busy with the holidays, but apparently, I guess
Amen.
Warhammer 40k. Let me see if I can bring up something real quick to read or have somebody else read because I can't.
Well, I mean,
Wants-
it's good to hear, honestly, because of the fact that, this whole retconning thing and then trying to gaslight you about what actually, well, it didn't technically say that. Yeah, it only said that all of them had always been male. Look, dude, I don't care because this is not my world. I don't know anything about it. But when
Same.
you're changing the basics of the universe, you're removing the solid ground upon which everything is built. It is insulting. It's insulting to anyone who has actually cared about this all of this time. It's the same thing with The Witcher. And the reason that they're doing it is because they don't find value in the things that women actually are good at or are in this world. And if you think that that's the case, maybe you don't like this world so much, and maybe you should go find someplace else to be because you don't actually like this franchise.
Maybe
you think that you
maybe they
you
need to
think
be
it
in
should
the
be
same
made.
circles.
Yeah, well, maybe you should go someplace else into another IP that you actually admire, that you actually think is done correctly, because you clearly don't like this one.
Yeah,
And that's
exactly.
the thing. It's offensive to actually go into something that you hate to try to turn it into something that you like, because you know so much better that everybody who's made this and who's loved this for years and years and years. It's absolutely gross.
And the
You
funny
found what
thing
you're looking
is,
for, Gio?
the rant that you just said should be
Thank
the
you.
rant on the lips of every management professional in these industries
Mhm.
to their employees that try to pull this shit.
Yeah. Yeah. If
Okay,
you're
it's
trying
gonna
to
be one of those. I need to find the video, watch it, and figure out what they're talking about
Okay.
because there's absolutely nothing written on it outside of this here.
Okay.
Because I was trying
Yeah,
to
I
find
mean-
some other discussion about it, but no, there's nothing that is current.
Yeah, if you
about
fundamentally
this,
love
so-
something, you don't try to change it.
Yeah.
That's just if you love something, you don't try to change the basis upon which it's built, the lore upon which it's built. That's
Exactly.
just it's not a thing.
Yeah, and especially if this first one's going to be an hour long, it's going to be one of those I'll have to listen to and report back with the
Zio
highlights.
didn't do his homework.
No, he wants to rely on me.
Let's see. Oh, I don't know what this is, but let's look at this. Warhammer 40k fan book published by a group, DK, not Games Workshop. He's a great dev. He worked on Games Workshop of 2000 left.
Okay, so this might be-
so. This might be one of those. Might be a
Premature
red herring.
celebrations.
Yeah, premature celebration or something, because it looks
Yeah.
like it comes from a fan book by somebody who worked at Game Workshop up 2008.
Might be a scenario just like what we were talking about earlier with.
Well, depending on how that book sells, I guess it could be one of those things that Game Workshop revisit. Because the other thing to talk about, if I don't remember if we talked about it last time or not, but apparently Amazon is officially getting the license to Warhammer.
Oh yeah, actually,
Did we talk about that last week?
well, no. Here's the thing: it's not even Amazon. It's specifically Henry Cavill,
Nice.
and he's being given full creative control, and Amazon's just funding and publishing.
As it should be, because we've seen what they've done when they get in control of IPs, Rings of Power. So yeah, they should. I mean, they have money, so they should just allow people who are actually talented and know what they're doing and actually care about these things to actually do them.
Yep.
And they just hand out the money and rake in the investments. Just be that.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Yeah. Games Workshop, Amazon buys rights to Warhammer 40K. December 10th, 2024. So Amazon is set to launch a series of films, TV shows, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know what that is. I don't want to sign up for it. Stock Exchange notice this morning, Games Workshop said it had agreed creative guidelines and reached a deal with Amazon for its adapt the Warhammer 40K fictional universe to films and TVs. The deal also includes associated merchandise rights for any film or TV show produced by Amazon. Let's see. Games Workshop, what's your set? Blah, blah, blah. The firm's latest results, licensing revenue increased by 150%. This push into licensing is a big part. Under the terms of agreement announced today, exclusive rights have been granted to Amazon for any Warhammer 40K film or TV show.
And in turn, Amazon gave Henry Cavill full creative control.
Well, I didn't see anything about that, so unless it's in this, nothing came up over it. Amazon also has the option to license equivalent rights in the Warhammer Fantasy universe following the release of the initial Warhammer 40K films or TV shows. Production process in respect of the films and TV series may take a number of years. Game Workshop added its stock to exchange. There's no set timeline.
Yeah.
Amazon gives.
At least that's what I heard. I thought I saw something on it too, but.
Well, we can circle back to this next week because it's not like super pressing, I guess.
Oh, it is pressing. Let's see. Warhammer 40K TV series locked and loaded. Henry Cavill leads Warhammer TV series. Well, we already. Let's see. With Henry Cavill set to star, so that's not changed. It looks like this was about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
December 12th. This was December 10th, right? So this would be the latest report on that.
Yep.
Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. The timing of the announcement arrives secret level. Well, we don't know when Games Workshop and the studio agreed on the creative guidelines initially. Deadline shared the news on December 10th. The official Warhammer community blog confirming it shortly after. Let's see. Later, Henry Cavill added some kind of exciting words to the announcement via Instagram. To celebrate some Warhammer news, I decided to make a pilgrimage first. Okay. My incredible team and I, Workshop, have been working way in concept rooms, breaking down. Well, I mean, it looks like he's still got a lot of control. So,
yeah.
According to Games Workshop legal announcement, Amazon MGM Studios now have exclusive rights to fully develop film and TV series set within the Warhammer 40K universe, but there's also an interesting nugget included that been overlooked by some publications. Gaming Workshop has granted an option for Amazon to license. We already read that.
Okay,
there's nothing.
Okay, well, front. I heard wrong then.
So it looks like he's still sitting in the same spot.
Yeah,
essentially, but they are moving forward now. So maybe that's a good sign.
I would assume so, seeing how badly he was burned by The Witcher. I wouldn't think that he'd want to jump feet first into the exact same situation.
The last thing we heard about all this was it possibly falling through because Henry Cavill has been very pushy about lore accuracy, and then Amazon, essentially people want their female space marine, And
Yeah, the
Well, see, they
custodians.
already got a
so it's been a
female
constant
group.
back and forth, and there was talks about it falling through, and then out of nowhere this month they're like, "Oh, yeah, they've agreed, and they've given them exclusive rights," and it's like, well, and then Henry Cavill's still part of the project, so
I think that there was some understanding that had to have been reached at this point. We just don't know what it is because they're. I mean, if I was Amazon, I wouldn't be bragging that, oh yeah, we're just gonna be, putting forth the money. We don't actually have any control. It's not actually us. I don't think I would say that because that's kind of embarrassing. That's
yeah.
not a good
True,
marketing
true.
strategy at all. So, I mean, it may be true. It may be something that's floating around in the rumor mill that actually is accurate. But if I was Amazon, I would
They won't come
absolutely
out with it.
not.
Yeah.
I would not say that at all. There's no way.
Yeah.
So
See, I think I think with Trump winning the election, I think that pendulum swung and swung hard, and a lot of these companies are like,
yeah,
"Oh, we're the
finally
bad
got it.
guys," and this, yeah.
we're the baddies.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because there's an Australian couple, Bearing and Sugar Tits, that I watch a lot of their stuff because they do commentary. It's great.
Bearing.
Yeah. Well, Sugar Tits posted on X that a bunch. I forget what company did a study, and they realized that the woke agenda is hemorrhaging them money, and everybody in the replies was like, "No."
Oh, it's like when
amazing.
Capcom did their study and found out that everybody wants attractive female character, or that other study that found out that people, male and female, prefer attractive female characters or attractive characters in general.
I also prefer Mega Man.
Yeah, this is true. Because Mega Man's cute. But I mean, he's got like the thing is that if you look at the Mega Man design, he's got like these big hand areas and the big feet and everything, and like the little head. It's just there's a lot of cuteness going on with that, even though he's got like a blaster for a hand and stuff.
Yeah.
And like there's a lot of cute design in there to appeal to both men and women.
Listen,
Anyway,
we need secret level Mega Man start to become a
Oh
real
my
series.
goodness. I want that so bad.
Now, you didn't get to watch it with us, Meg, but we
didn't.
We watched it.
Really? Was that good?
It was, oh my gosh.
It needs to be its own show, hands down.
So I wound up getting the Amazon Prime. I got not tricked into, but I kind of got like pigeonholed into getting Amazon Prime free trial. So I will watch it.
It's only a couple minutes, and that's the biggest sin of it is like
it's like 3 or 4 minutes. Like the whole episode, I think is like 9 minutes, right? But the actual episode itself is only like 3 or 4 minutes max.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna watch the whole thing.
Amazon fluff shit, right?
But the thing is that I actually
Amazon fluff shit. So,
but I actually watched that. So like I was watching what is it, Shanghai Noon with my family, and like the beginning with the opening credits, I was like, oh, look at the artistry with the font that they're using, and my parents are looking at me like, please stop talking. So I am that person. I watched the entire thing because I want to understand what they're doing, how they're doing it, the direction that they're going with the art, the feeling that all of that gives you. Yeah, because they're important. People don't understand. I did graphic design for a marketing company for like 6 years, and I'm telling you, like the design is about 50%, and the rest of it is font choice.
Yeah, I do like, so if I do like a Diablo game or like a horror game, I have particular fonts that I use because with the horror game I use the chiller font that has like blood dripping down by design, and then I'll do like a backdrop.
You don't want a cutesy thing going, demonologist, smiley face.
Yeah.
Demonologist with Comic Sans.
Oh, Comic Sans is so overused. Don't get me started on the Comic Sans thing.
It is. It's one of those you look at it. It's like, really, guys, you went with Comic Sans?
Because I heard that's like a cardinal sin in design to use Comic Sans.
Well, yeah,
it is at this point because it's overused.
Your staff who is in shit. What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
When most of your staff is not properly trained or has ever had inexperience, there we go, or inexperience, they use Common Sans. So,
Okay, next one.
Okay, sorry.
Let's move on. CD Project Red is in
Ugh.
the headlines once again. Apparently,
Can we
they're
just call them CD Project Wrecked at this point because they're just
CD
destroying their own
Project
brand?
Red. Yeah, might as well. CD
How about
Project
CD
Red.
Project Dead?
Designer
Yeah.
hates states he wants to punch gamers in the face. Because
That'll
Bring
sell
it.
money.
Not? Oh
Kind of
yeah.
looks like
Bring
he
it,
already
Sugar
got
Tixon.
hit.
Yeah.
Like, look at that! Look at that mug. That's somebody that.
It does look like somebody punched him once
The
somewhere right
chinless
there.
wonder here is wanting to punch somebody in the face. Dude, you're born with a glass jaw.
Dude,
What are you
I could
talking about?
defeat you with a padlock and your ear.
To be fair, I think you. Ugh. What is this? Ugh. Just these people.
Okay, so I will say this. This coupled with the other article is good news.
How so?
Well, we gotta get to the other article.
Yeah, we gotta get to it.
Okay. Well, what is this one saying? Like
Really? This
I'm
guy's
looking
name
at
is
my
Ken?
potato.
Does it have to be canned?
Huh?
The name. I'll explain later.
Okay.
But anyway,
It's always good when
me and
the
Caitlin
people
will punch gamers together. Okay, here we go. This is what we're looking for. In 2020, I want muscles so I can effectively punch gamers, and also so
That is not something you don't want to admit
very
to,
cute
my dude.
people
That-
and. Well, you might want to go to the gym then. Listen, the only
Well, he's
real way
admitting
to
he
get
has no
muscles is
muscle
to work
mass.
out. I know.
he needs a girl to help
The
him.
only way
So.
to build muscle is for you to do workouts, and I know that's probably bad for you to do because then your what is it, the toxic masculinity is leaking or whatever the fuck it is, right? But you're
Yeah, I
gonna
think it's
have
white
to work out
supremacy,
if you
too.
want muscles. I didn't realize until this tweet, but this is now also what I want. You want to punch gamers, or you want CG to punch gamers? Me and Caitlin will punch gamers together.
Oh,
Okay.
this guy's a simp.
Yeah.
That's a simp statement if I ever heard one.
Yeah,
Okay, so
this is what
weak
you
men are
don't
the-
want your designers and stuff to be doing, guys.
Now, you know how you come
No.
back from this? CD Projekt Red Dead could come back from this
by firing this
by
idiot.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that's what I would do. The second if I had
the
somebody on
moment
my
this came
team,
out. The moment this hit
well,
X.
if I was in game development, right?
Yeah.
And somebody on my team came out
Mhm.
and said that they want to actively punch our consumers.
Yeah. Our
I'm
only
gonna
clientele.
drag them in, say, "Hey, look, did you say this shit?" And then can them afterwards.
Yeah, and I'm like, film it and put it on the internet and be like, this is what we do when we find people who
And
hate
then,
our
write a-
customers.
Name
write
and
a
shame.
PR statement out talking about how it saddens me today to have to do this, but one of our own, blah blah, apparently decided to threaten to punch, gamers, our customer
Yeah.
base, yada yada, and as a
Whom
result,
we love.
had to let them go.
Whom our
because
jobs
we do
are
not- I
reliant
do not-
upon.
Because, as CEO of CD Projekt Red, I do not condone punching our customer base that we so truly love.
Well,
As
punching
they-
anybody,
and
but
then
we
do
love
a
our
puff
gamers.
and then write a puff thing about how gamers are are great. And,
Gamers are
how
life. We love our gamers,
them,
blah, blah,
we love
blah.
our gamers. They buy our
Yeah.
games. We're making a phenomenal game just for them, and that's how you do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
This is not hard. This is I'm not a marketing person. I hate marketing from the bottom of my shoes.
Me too. That's why my
but-
channel fails.
Oh, it's
It's like-
it's truly awful. It is a skill though, but the thing is, even I know how to not do this or how to not continuously step on this rake. Like I don't have to. You don't have to be a marketing genius to know not to anti-market.
Like, what
is
does
re-
it
this
take
is
to get the eye of any of these CEOs to realize that these are bad things to let your people do and have them take corrective action. Oh,
Well,
that's right. I'm not going to do the thing that is necessary. Alyssa Mercante apparently does. So,
Well, the problem is that they rely on their HR department. Their HR department are like 10 times worse than this guy.
yeah.
So
Yeah, well, the thing is, a lot of these people don't live in the real world. They live behind their computer screens, and they don't have to talk to people in real life.
But there is
Who
good
actually,
news.
what?
The next article.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
right. I
yeah,
forgot.
he does keep saying that. He's like, but there's good news, and I'm like,
There's
this
good
is just
news.
annoying news. I don't know what you're talking about. I
Okay, it
never
looks
read-
like the whole news of a lot of CD Projekt Rekt devs leaving CD Projekt Rekt is not just real, but is practically Exodus levels of leaving the studio.
Lol.
Ship of Theseus in action. The director of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt has even opened his own studio now named Rebel Wolves.
Rebel Wolves essentially, from what I can kind of glean from this, has
Mhm.
essentially sniped all the actual talent out of CD Projekt Red.
So again, when I was talking about how you get brain drain, like I
Yeah.
feel like a broken record at this point, where you lose your senior talent and then you have to fill it up with a bunch of nobodies who don't know anything. Ubisoft, anyway, and then come out and preemptively say your next game's gonna suck because all your talent is gone and you don't know
Mhm.
why. This is why.
Because they threatened to punch
Yeah.
the consumer.
Yeah,
Their
'cause
own
keep
customers.
those
This is your
fuckers
customer
around,
base.
So
and then
let
your
me.
good guys leave somewhere else. But apparently, Rebel Wolves is a new studio, but our team has years of experience working on some of the most critically acclaimed video games of all times. We co-created titles such as The Witcher 3, Cyberpunk 2077, and many others. We've decided to create our own studio and run it on our own terms. Chief among them, the team comes first, always. Happy people make great games. Games players want and deserve. Yes, it is
Mhm.
simple as that. Didn't the guy who do the Warhammer Space Marine say the same thing and then they flamed him for that? Pretty
Probably.
much. You
I
know,
mean,
But he was right, and he's like,
Yeah.
"I'm not backing down. Fuck y'all."
yeah, he said, people are playing my game. They're having a fun time. They're doing a good job. You know,
Yeah.
I don't. This is
So-
such a positive message, though. Like this, there's nothing negative in this. Like we want
Exactly.
people, we want our employees to be happy. We want to make games that gamers like. How is this controversial? Now you can say, well, we don't want to do that with our games. Okay, then
Then you don't-
can.
then-
You're free to not do that. But these
you're
people
free to go
want to do
under.
the same.
yeah, like you're
Now-
free to have all the layoffs in the world.
So
I mean, it's going to be funny because we'll see the articles. 500
We will.
laid off from Ubisoft, and we're going to be sitting here talking about, well, we saw that one coming, and they're going to be tweeting, "I can't believe I was laid off from Ubisoft today. It was like a slap in the face. I just never saw it coming." It's like, we've been talking about it for 15 fucking months. Where the fuck
It's
have
like
you
you
been,
should have.
Sunshine?
You should have watched Gaming with a Side of Salt, my guy.
I mean,
Or-
seriously, you should have been right here paying attention to what we've been saying for the last 15 fucking months. You're
The
gonna
future
go
happens here,
under.
guys. It's really.
Okay.
This is
So-
not controversial. It's not difficult at all.
let's be real. When we start getting these layoffs, because it's going to roll in. You know it's going to roll in.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
bad.
The moment we get the call for layoffs,
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
You
I
need
mean,
that one on
and
tap.
now here's the thing. Look at one. This is happening more.
Mhm.
It is.
Two, look at the timeline of events. Now I'm guessing the timeline. These activists got into the studio. The more well-trained people saw the writing on the wall. They saw that they were in a sinking ship, and they pivoted accordingly and took all the talent with them. Now CD Projekt Red is really. It might be premature. They're going to get Ubisoft. They're going to go under.
Well, so the thing is that a lot of this with these companies now, because they're like, oh, because I was watching an Asmongold video where he was saying, well, CD Projekt Red did Cyberpunk, and even though it started off buggy, when they re-released it, it was really good. And the thing that I was thinking was, rooting for a company like this and saying, oh, well, this company, that company, this at this point is kind of like saying I'm a fan of the Lakers. You're not really like a fan of the people on the team and what makes that team work and is cohesive. You're basically rooting for a franchise and like
You're rooting for the
and the
brand.
uniforms. Yeah, you're rooting for the uniforms at this point. You're like, oh, these people in these clothes, because the people who made this team great could be traded tomorrow. So I mean, that's fine when it comes to something like a sports ball game. I assume I'm not a fan. I'm kind of mercenary that way. I'm like, I like
It's
these
the
people.
same way in gaming, right? Like,
Yeah.
I've been a Blizzard fanboy for decades.
Mm-hmm.
And even at some of their worst, it was like, they can come and pull this back. But when you finally dig deep and look into it and you just realize they're not there anymore. What made
Mm-hmm.
Blizzard has long since left. They're making indie titles now. They're making their own studios. They're making their own games that are infinitely better. And, they poached the lead writer and narrative director from The Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
Asmongold wasn't wrong about that. It was a good game after
Yeah.
the initial launch. I mean, it was
But
a
it
decent
wasn't
game,
a good
and it's
game.
still full of bugs, unfortunately.
But the thing is that
But
it's not a good game because of the studio. It's a good game
no,
because of the person that was
because of the
there.
people in
And
it.
that's where yeah, and that's what he's missing. He's saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, because the studio." I'm like, "No, the studio is the freaking building, dude. The building and the board of directors. That's what the
Yeah.
studio is at this
Now,
point.
when
The team is not important to them anymore because they think
and
that all people are interchangeable."
and the writing on something like The Witcher 3, it's
Mm-hmm.
great. And now that you know that The Witcher 3's lead writer has moved over to Rebel Studio,
Rebel
right?
Wolves.
Rebel Wolves.
Rebel Studios
This
of
is now
political.
where to go look at for that kind of writing. You're not going to
Mhm.
get that from CD Projekt Rect anymore. You might get
No.
little bits and pieces because I'm sure there were some senior people still there, maybe, but you're not going to get the same level of writing that you got from The Witcher 3 from CD Projekt Rect anymore. You're going to get it from Rebel Wolves. That's where you'll get it from because this
Well,
guy
yeah.
has moved there now.
Yeah, it's the
And I
collectivist
guarantee
mind.
that somebody like SBI is going to be hitting them up soon, talking about how they're not diverse enough because all I'm seeing is, 4 white guys.
But
Yeah.
this is the collectivist mindset where you just think that everybody is interchangeable. You could stick any human being in there because it's just a cog, and that's not the way that you get to excellence. That's not our mindset basically here when we say everybody has something different to bring. Everybody is their own universe, and everybody is a rainbow of some sort. And sometimes you fit, and sometimes you don't. But the thing is that
I'm a
people
black
aren't
hole.
people aren't interchangeable is the point. People are not you can find somebody else who
Some
can do
people
a good
are
job, but they're
interchangeable, some are not.
well, nobody
It
can do
depends,
exactly what you do in the exact same way that you do it. Now
It
maybe it
depends
matters
on
and
the
maybe it
job and
doesn't.
what it is. So,
Well,
but like,
I mean, it could be sweeping
Okay.
floors, and it will not be
We're
the
arguing
exact.
semantics at this
I
point.
know, I'm just messing.
It will not
But
be the
yeah,
exact same thing in the exact
you're
same
not
way.
going
The
to be
thing is
able
that
to.
it may matter. It may matter. It may not. Like when it comes to sweeping floors, I will not sweep a floor the exact same way that Chad does, and it may not matter though, as long as the floor gets
Yeah.
clean. But that's
All
not
right.
the exact same thing when it comes to something creative, like writing a story or
Yeah,
doing
like,
something
they're
like
not gonna be able
art
to
Let
direction.
me
this
explain
guy.
to you. If I have to sweep a floor, I'm putting in an incident report and having the cleaning crew do it because not my job, not my problem.
No, they're not
At
going
your
to be able to
house too?
replace this guy.
That's what maintenance is for.
Wait, maintenance cleans your floors at your house, in your apartment?
Sure.
Sure.
Oh dear.
No, of course not.
No, but they're not
they
going
just
to be
don't
able to
get clean.
replace this guy. This
That's
is
why
a
I said, "Oh dear."
This is a major ding in any story narrative that they plan to write in the future.
Oh,
They're
this
not gonna be
is
able to replace this guy. And I mean, I don't know when all this really took place.
Hey, enlarge that image of the 4 people. See you again. Okay, design director. Oh yeah, they are screwed. You want to know why they're so screwed?
Why?
These guys have never had a date except for the narrative director. The rest of these complete virgins. They're going to make the best game ever, and CD Projekt Red is going to just not even.
Well,
No.
expectations will definitely be high for them.
I'm going to tell you this right now. Click that image again. Second on the left there, Daniel. He's going to do the best damn designs you'd ever seen.
The thing is, though, I mean, what one thing that men don't kind of understand. I mean, shallow women, well, yes, will only care about the looks, but what women actually like the most when they're mature and actually are reasonable people, they care more about competence. If you're competent and you can do something really well, something that we care about, something that's in some way impressive, then that
I mean,
overcomes all of that.
I'll say this. My ex-wife absolutely loved when I worked on computers. Like she told me several times that she found it insanely attractive how much I knew about technology.
Well, these guys also don't have the telltale signs of DEI either.
No, they
They're
don't.
not like pierced 15 different ways. They don't have multicolored hair.
You know what I just realized they look like? They
What?
look like a band.
They look like a boy band.
Well, not really a boy band, but
They look like a garage band.
Yeah, they look like a grunge band.
Yeah, but I mean, we go back and we look at some of these people. Like, there are signs that you can look at somebody and go, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, there are a lot of people who are all about the aesthetics. When they spend that much time looking in the mirror to how much they're going to present themselves that day, you know that they're actually more concerned with themselves than they are with the work that they put out. It's not about the story.
Yeah, they look.
Very obviously.
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm pretty humble. It's not like I got my.
It was the same
It's
thing.
not like I got my logo behind me and on my T-shirt. And
I forgot we both posted the same story under the same thread.
Oh, did we?
We did.
Okay.
Yours came from Pirate Nation.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And yours came from
Yeah, you're like, why do I even bother?
Great minds, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's something to look forward. Rebel Wolves, we'll see what they come out with, and hopefully it will be good. They seem to be wanting to go quite ambitiously as they are working on a AAA IP story-driven RPG saga for PCs and next gen consoles. So
And PC is sorely missing good RPGs, so this could be huge.
So this could be huge, but I'm sure it's years down the road. So, and we're gonna see whatever CD Projekt
What's that last?
drops.
Oh
first.
wait, is that last tab something or?
Yeah, it is. Disney execs reveal why Star Wars: The Acolyte was canceled and addresses Skeleton Crew's fate.
Because it sucked? Is that it? Because anything else is wrong.
Hang on, let me get the sad violin.
Take a look at this. We'll segue and finish our show tonight on Star Wars. But Disney Entertainment's co-chair Alan Bergman has confirmed that the Acolyte's fate was sealed by its hefty budget rather than its diverse reception among really.
Absolutely not. This is garbage. See, the thing is that if this show had done very, very well and gotten Disney Plus, like all the new viewers and everything like that, they wouldn't care about the hefty price tag if it paid for that, if it made up for it in the dividends. But it didn't. The reason that they're doing that, the price tag matters, is because of the fact that it didn't return on that investment. That's why. And the reason that it didn't return on the investment is because of the fact that it sucked. Okay, now you can go.
I also touched on this earlier too tonight. We were happy with our performance, but it wasn't where we needed it to be given the cost structure of the title. Quite frankly, to go and make season 2, so that's the reason we didn't do that.
Okay, so wait. Is this just a scam to launder money? Because budget, that was some of the cheapest. Oh my god!
Basil looked good though.
Listen, we got some numbers now though.
Oh,
actual numbers: 11.1 million globally viewership. However,
Over all
momentum
8
called it-
episodes?
Let's see. Within 5 days, it just says. Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so basically, like the
Interested launched
first
on
episode.
June 4th of this year. We were with an impressive 4.8 million views on the first day. Within 5 days, viewership reached 11.1. However, momentum faltered, and their show strong ratings. Blah blah blah. 488 million minutes viewed. Oh, they stopped giving you real numbers. Because it went down. So we started talking about viewership. See, this is a funny thing that these things do if nobody's in the know. They start talking hard numbers because 4.8 million in the first day sounds impressive. 11.1 million globally within 5 days sounds impressive. But then when you start going into it, it's like, well, there was only 488 million minutes viewed. This is where things get interesting because then you get articles written about how 488 million viewed The Acolyte, right?
Because they changed the wording.
Because they left out the word minutes or something when they do that, but it's technically true, but they're talking about minutes now, right? Despite climbing to number 6 the following week, the series dropped to the top 10 in week 3.
Okay, stop right there.
Returning to its final with the smallest viewership numbers of 335 million minutes.
So they keep trying to use it interchangeably.
Yeah, they straight up changed it. They went from viewership to minutes viewed because it's a larger number, but it's probably smaller than the actual viewerships. Do we know how many? Actually, let's do some math. How long is an episode of The Acolyte?
Well, the thing is that it varied greatly. There were some episodes that were in the 20s, and there were some episodes that were like in the 40s for whatever reason. It was really weird. It was a very inconsistent mess. If I remember correctly, like I watched it like basically secondhand. So I would watch play-by-plays and breakdowns.
Episode length of The Acolyte ranged from 30 to 43 minutes.
Yeah, see? And the thing, so if I said it was 20 something minutes, it was because the credits went on forever. Like there was one where they did like a remix of some Amanda Skinberg song. It was terrible.
488. Let's
divide
that by say 35. We'll be generous and give it about 35 minutes on average.
Okay.
Right?
Multiply that by 8. Because there were 8 episodes? But there 8 or 10.
Well, that's the other thing. We don't know if that's all 8 episodes or not.
Well, in the end, it's
divided by 8
million.
because that's the total. So no matter what, it would be that many minutes. So even the distribution of minutes doesn't really matter.
Hold on, guys. We're trying to do math live.
Yeah, I know.
And none of us are Asian, so.
And Zio killed the timing of my joke, so.
Wait, there was a joke somewhere?
Yeah, I kept saying, wait, stop reading so I can press this.
Oh no! What happened? Oh no! How terrible!
But you don't get the whole thing because you didn't listen. You get the trailer of the joke.
Let's see. That's roughly 280 minutes across 8 episodes.
Okay.
That's not a lot.
Oh wait, sorry. That's
480
million. Sorry.
So 480 million divided by 280. What is that?
Let's see.
That'd be
1,740,000.
So that's how many people viewed this?
No,
I think my math is wrong.
Yeah,
per episode. Major. Well, per episode, basically. Per episode,
yeah,
you got about 1 point something million, which is very
episode.
Low. Which is pretty low, honestly, especially considering that the first one took 4.7 million off the bat. So then you have to subtract the rest of that. So that's not very high. But the thing is that the show sucked. That's basically it. If that had crazy high numbers, you better believe that they would have paid for at least another season of this garbage this
And
really
Yeah,
flaming
definitely.
dumpster fire.
Viewership fell harshly.
well, it looks
Yeah.
That's why
cheap
they went to
too.
minutes.
It so did.
So we're looking
It
at
looked so
probably
cheap.
at about 1.5 million or something.
I don't know where that money went either. I mean,
Watch it.
That's what I'm
Basil the
saying. Like, did
convenience
they just launder the money?
Basil the convenience beaver was a good looking CGI beaver, but everything else in it was cheap or just wonky. They either overpaid or like they needed a department of efficiency, honestly.
Yeah, they
So
needed Doge.
yeah, well, Department of Disney efficiency, so that'd be like Dode.
Dode.
But yeah, but they didn't. So yeah, I think that this was a case of money laundering, but the thing is that Disney wouldn't have cared if it had been a success.
Yeah.
This guy saying, "Oh, it would just cost so much." Dude, you knew it cost that much when you were paying for it.
Yeah,
So
and
don't
that's the thing.
pretend.
They come up with a budget beforehand.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, you knew this was going to cost this amount, and you knew what you had to deliver. But instead, what we got was, I'm going to be
What it
honest, because I love using this term now. I'm addicted to it. This was Timu Star Wars.
It was. It really was. Oh man, that scene where she cuts off her hair with a lightsaber is just it's all kinds of cringe.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm
her
a
face in that pose after, just like, wow, this is happening.
question. Is
Yeah.
Amanda Steinberg the lead actor? I take it that she's
Yes.
one of those it people. They them because they sit there
Yeah.
and like they continued. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Because
She's
I
a they
read
them.
that and was like, that's not right. She continued. What the fuck? Anyway.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But
Steve.
yeah,
It's a typo.
here's the thing that needs to be read real quick. She addressed all this stuff on Instagram, right? And
Okay, I'll go ahead and read it. I'm going to be transparent and say that it's not a huge shock for me. For those who aren't aware, there has been a rampage of vitriol. That's how you say that, Zio. That we have faced since the show was even
I know how to
announced.
say vitriol.
Okay, well, you never know with you. when it was still just a concept and no one had even seen it because it was a retarded concept.
yeah.
Oh,
It was also, because
see,
Leslie
it's when
Headland
words
doesn't have the
rearrange
best.
themselves on me that I have a problem reading it. Okay.
Well, that's fine. A lot of these journalists have a problem writing it too.
That's true too. But yeah, like it's funny because I had saw a thing on Facebook, right, about controversial shows canceled or something like that, and it
Yeah.
had like
Mhm.
3 of them listed or something, and the bottom one was Star
Acolyte.
Wars: The Acolyte, and where it had listed as like toxic fans got it canceled. And naturally, my comment every time I see that is like, somebody explain to me how toxic fans canceled a show.
Yeah.
Explain to me how not watching your show got it canceled, and that is our fault somehow.
No, see,
Because
that's the
you've
thing
got a fandom, right, that you're trying to tap into or something that should be supporting you. How is it that these toxic people who didn't watch it get your show? Oh, that's right, because nobody actually watched the shit. It's not
Yeah.
just it's like 90% of the fandom is now toxic fans because nobody wants what you're shoveling.
Well, the thing is that them trying to blame it on people who didn't like it and didn't watch it and kind of made fun of it. This is basically taking away the agency of of their own supposed fans. They're saying that these people wanted to watch it, but somehow were just unable to break through other people not watching it. I don't know how that happens. Me not watching it in my house somehow affects Becky and Becky next door who wants to watch it, but she's like, I just can't because the neighbors aren't watching it. Oh, I need the
Meg's not
collectivist.
watching it. Can't watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What can I do? Oh no. So
Well-
it makes no sense. But the thing is, this is the infantilization of their own audience, and this is basically what copium does to you. Also, it makes you a liar.
Well, see here.
To where they're, yeah. Go ahead.
See, here's the thing. They're using toxic fans as a scapegoat, and I mean, in all honesty, how do I put this? in all honesty, it's their fault. But taking accountability for their failures, just again, it's they can't. So they gotta blame the toxic fans. By the way, what they really want is a captive audience. They want you to be, if they could, they would want you as the viewer to be locked in a room and you're not coming out until you watch our shitty show.
Yeah.
Well, see, it
Honestly,
all goes back to bad writers again, too. I mean, not only do you hire people who actively hate your brand, it's like the thing with what is it, Snow White or something in the Seven Dwarves. You hire an actor to check a box, and then it turns out she actively hates the thing she's working on, and it's like, why? Like, this should not be rocket science that somebody like me or Meg or Chad or Asmongold or whoever has to come out and sit there and say, why do you keep doing that? It's not that hard to figure out. If this person actively hates the property that you've hired them to work on, why keep them around? Just get rid of them. Find somebody who likes it. That's why it's great when Henry Cavill was doing The Witcher, because he went to bat against those writers who wanted to do their own thing. And it was a phenomenal show for the first season and a half.
And they hated that it was a success.
And then when he was gone, nobody talks about The Witcher anymore. Like, The Witcher and the whole toss your coin to a Richer became a meme. Everybody loved it. Everybody was doing covers of it and everything. And that is because of Henry Cavill.
Yep.
Because he kept the writers in check. And he worked hard and tirelessly to do so. Because he loved the property while the writers did not. And the thing is that people like me who are not Witcher fans, I never watched the show. I wasn't interested in watching the show. But the thing is that, I've been mad at Henry Cavill ever since Man of Steel, because I know it's not his fault, but he was the face of the movie that I hated, that kind of like made me dislike Superman, and then Batman versus Superman, and I don't even want to talk about it. But the thing is that hearing that he really cared about the lore made me go, you know what, dude, I'm rooting for you. I'm never going to watch your show because it's not for me, A, and 2, I don't have Netflix anymore because cuties. But I was like, you know what, I'm rooting for you though. Like, I want him to succeed. And then once I found out that he was leaving, I was like, you know what, I want the show to fail now. This is the thing that they're actually inspired in people. They've actually inspired us to dislike their shows and to want them to fail. Like, even
you said you wanted it to fail. Well, if I remember right, Zio, you might be able to confirm this. So did the writers. The writers actually actively wanted the shows.
Well, they didn't want it to fail.
They wanted
it to fail with Henry in it. I didn't want it to fail when Henry was in it. When Henry was in it, I wanted it to succeed, because I was like, this guy really respects this lore. And I was like, this is so rare and this is pretty awesome to find somebody who actually cares about it. If I had seen like enough interviews, I would have been inspired to actually watch this dang show. And I knew it wasn't for me. Because I was like, this is just, it's not my thing, okay? Witcher's a little nihilistic for me. But I was someone who cares about it can make you want their love for something. Their care of it is infectious. It makes you want to believe and to watch that thing and watch it grow and thrive and everything. When you have people who actively hate the IP, you just feel sorry for the IP and you hate those people and you want them to fail because they're doing bad things.
There was a project, I can't remember if it was a video game, but there was a project I remember we covered at some point where the writer, the dev, somebody on the team was more wanting it to fail because of what they called extreme right-wing gamers or viewers, I can't remember which, liked their show.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. I don't remember what it was, but yeah.
I think it was Fallout.
They're like, they liked it wrong. Oh, it was also, there was also, what was it, Joker?
Boys, one of the two. No, no.
Well, there was Joker where they basically destroyed Joker.
That's what it was. It was Joker.
Because people were enjoying it wrong.
They wanted the Joker to fail, But no, I think the one that they really wanted to nosedive because people were liking was either Fallout or The Boys, because that's the one where everybody was like, "Well, Homelander is clearly your leftist in his fan base there," and that's when the writers were coming out going, "No, no, no, that's an allegory for Trump," and then I think they wanted it to fail after that or something, but everybody loved it.
That's when you
And
go,
then
you
they
keep
had to
using that word.
and they like apparently ham-fisted into the last season a bunch of stuff to like make sure you knew that these were Trumpians. But every time they did it, it was just one of those cringe things. It's like, why? This
It's
feels
like
out of place for
when
everything
the
building
feds
up
try
to
to
the
fake
show
it.
at this point.
Yeah, it's basically just lying at that point.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's you keep using these words, but you don't know what these words really mean.
But
and I was gonna say, and it's like when I see people that are like this, that try to kind of obfuscate the real reason things fail.
Mm-hmm.
I keep thinking of one little thing.
I've got a peer-reviewed study right here that says you're a pussy.
Thank you, Duke Nukem.
But I mean, they're not wrong either at the same time. Like when they say we were happy with the performance, maybe they really are. They are happy with the performance, but it didn't do what they needed to do to cover the costs because nobody else was happy with it. The consumer was not happy with what you produced. You may have
what they're doing is they're telling
but that's great if the people you want it to watch it don't like it.
Well, the thing is that they're telling a half truth. It is partially true that the reason that they're not renewing the Acolyte is because of the fact that it costs too much. But that's only half of the story, because if it cost that much and was a success, they wouldn't care. So this is trying to obfuscate the truth by telling half of it, and it's lying basically. It's lying by omission, which is rarely something that I actually go for
And I
complaining
don't
about
know
too much.
how they spent way too much money on this because they cut a bunch of shit out. I mean,
it was so stupid looking.
I don't know where the budget went to unless it was just the special effects to fight Smilemonger or whatever the hell his name was or something,
Smilo
and that
Ren.
was it. Smilo Ren, if that's where all the budget went to or whatnot, but they cut out a lot of things they could have done and been great, like our Wookiee fighting with a lightsaber. They just cut that shit completely out.
Dude,
Didn't
why?
really get a fight
That would have
at
been
the
so
start
cool.
much that well either.
Well, they
with
kind
the
of did, but not
Jedi.
really.
Not really, but I mean, like the Jedi stuff is usually where the budget should probably go in a property like this. And it's like, where the fuck did that budget even go to? Like, what was paid? Because you cut out a lot of the good bits, and we didn't even see some of it. Some of it was done off camera. I mean, was blowing up your rock building really worth most of the budget or something? Because, I mean, it was a waste because rock doesn't catch fire to begin with, but clearly it does.
That was so stupid. I mean, there's a reason that campfires are surrounded by a circle of stones. It's because stones don't catch fire, guys.
Stone is flammable.
This is not
now,
difficult.
Apparently, in the Star Wars universe,
entire building
stone is
made of
flammable.
stone.
Yeah, just up in flames. It's like, why?
Yeah,
makes no
it's
damn
those
sense.
new,
There's
it's
not
those
even
new
enough-
stones.
There's not even enough drapes in the place to even
No.
justify it catching fire.
It was all so stupid. I mean,
was.
that
It
was
was bad writing.
stupid. The little sister saying, I'm going to kill you to stop you from leaving." I'm like, wait, what? I'm sorry. I was 10 once and I had siblings. I had a lot of siblings and they got on my nerves a lot. We got on each other's nerves. We never once threatened to kill the other person and would not
that
have set
sounds
something
like
on
something
fire
a
to do this.
sociopath would do.
Yeah. And so there's no redemption arc for you when you're a sociopath.
So yeah, like
It's
I
not
get
how it
that
works.
if they want the sister to be a sociopath and then killed at the end.
No, but they wanted her.
But
no,
no,
but
they
they wanted her
wanted
to be.
do a
She
redemption
apologizes
arc
at the
with
end.
her And it's like there's no redemption for somebody like that. I don't even know how.
Well, the thing is,
They can't have a woman be a villain.
Yeah, that too.
they can't have a woman be wrong even. Like in the end, it's like, oh no, she was kind of right because of the fact that, I mean, yeah, she set the thing on fire, but that was just her being angry. But she was totally right to murder all of these Jedi because I don't know, because like you guys, your mother and her coven decided to start a fight and couldn't finish it. Like, bro, I'm sorry.
So
yeah,
Your
it's
mom
like
your mom
Jedi
started
showed up.
dissolving you.
The Jedi showed up. They wanted to take you all in as
Mhm.
younglings, right? And
Yeah.
the mother told
Mhm.
you to say no, but one of you said yes. And that
Yeah.
was it.
Yeah, and
Well,
from that
so
we have to kill them all. And it's like, what?
well, so in episode 7 they show what actually happened in the conflict. And what had happened was the Jedi went back to they were like worried about the little girls because reasons. This is all contrived
Oh, yeah.
as crap. But they go back there and then they're talking, and then one of the other witch lesbian mother is like starting to like get all aggressive and starting to kind of attack. And then the little girl comes running in and saying, I accidentally set fire to the stones. And then the mother just turns into this smoke demon. And the main guy, Saul, he's kind of like, what the heck? And then he turns and looks at the little girl, and she's literally dissolving. And so he makes the connection. She's dissolving this child. So he goes to kill her, or to stop her at least. So he just runs the lightsaber into the smoke because, you can totally kill smoke that way. And somehow she dies because reasons. And the girl stops dissolving. And somehow this is supposed to be like, oh no, the Jedi were evil. And I'm like, wait, what? No, at worst, this is a misunderstanding.
That was an actual moment where a Jedi was acting like a Jedi.
Yeah, this is it. And she was like, I was going to and the thing is that you have to go to Leslie Headland's actual interviews to find out what she was doing. She was actually translating them to the Force and was going to like move them to safety or something like that. And I'm like, that's not how the Force works, to quote Han Solo.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't allow you to teleport like that, but we're talking about space witches with their space coven who can apparently conceive children utilizing the Force in ways
that also not how the Force works, but whatever.
One time,
or biology.
It was a big deal.
Yeah.
I have to say
somebody
this.
else's, story.
I have to say this. In the span of me running to the restroom and coming back here, I came up with a better story.
Okay.
Everybody came up with a better story.
Yeah, but this was in like 2 minutes. A Star Wars film, trilogy, or show, doesn't matter, that follows Rogue Squadron that kind of takes a note from was it not Hot Shots? That's the comedy. Top Gun.
Mm-hmm.
So now
the good one or the lame one?
Good one, I would hope. But what I'm saying is
both good.
No.
So what I'm saying is, you got this like fighter pilot kind of movie, but with a sci-fi twist where you're following the different members of a rogue squadron, because that gives you name recognition. And essentially the different missions they go on to, maybe one of them gets shot down and has to survive. No Jedi. And I know that people are like, well, it's Star Wars, right? It's like,
well, they did the Mandalorian, so
exactly.
They did Andor.
And you know what's funny? One of my favorite story lines was in the MMO, playing as a Imperial agent, but good. Like, but light side.
MMO.
Huh?
I like the MMO.
It had good story. It had good story arcs.
I think
No,
a good thing
but
would have an interesting thing would have been to follow some of the clones, and because Finn was clearly one of the
Yeah.
clones, and he was able to break through from the mind thing. So following following like a rogue group of clones, basically, as some of them start to break away and trying to figure out how to get themselves out of this predicament and
I
out of this battlefield and somehow make their way over to the resistance or just live normal lives, you know?
I don't
That would have
think
been
they are
interesting because
capable of writing stories on either of those fronts. Um,
no,
just
I'm just saying something I wanted to
simply to
see,
the yeah, I
you know.
know, but what they probably should have done is which I thought they were going to do because when I first saw it, I was kind of excited for this, but then they had to fuck it all up in the very first episode. But anyway, because I thought, oh yeah, they're setting this in several hundred years prior to everything else that we know and stuff. No, that's not what they did. They put it about 100 years prior, and then they bring in people who shouldn't have been alive. And anyway, what they need to do is go back to the day of
Kiadi-Mundi. Yeah.
Siths and Jedis as
Mhm.
prominent things, and then do a story with
Mhm.
that. You can easily take your twins, transplant them
Mhm.
to 1,000, 2,000 years prior or something where there's not a whole lot there. There's lots there in the extended universe and stuff, but you can just make a story where you got these twins, and for whatever reason, one is a Jedi, one went with the Sith,
That would be good.
Could they
and
have gone
then
to like the birthplace of Jedi and Sith though? That would have been interesting. Like, how did
like
you get these
that would have been
designations?
a much better thing to do. Now, I don't want them to touch the
Yeah.
origin stories of Sith or Jedi. Hell no. They don't need to come near that. But
Don't
if
you
they
know
just
the
take it
force
to
is female?
the time of the universe where there were actual Sith still out and actual Jedi, because we know the technology of Star Wars never advances beyond
Yeah.
this what it currently is. You still get all the stuff you could have from the Star Wars universe. You can tell a good and
Mhm.
bad story where they're kind of like confused. You could you could tell this story better because then you have that Sith that kills a Jedi in a much better fashion, hopefully, than what they did.
Yeah.
And then they're looking at this other acolyte, this other young Jedi who's about to graduate or whatnot, and they go track her down. It's like, no, you were here. You killed Lord whoever or whatever. We've got, here's the communication crystal that shows you doing it. And then she's got to go on a quest to embark to like clear her name. And then it turns out she's actually, one half of a twin, you know?
Yeah. I the thing is that the Osha character just was not enough of a person, and the May character was very inconsistent. So like you
Their
just
whole
don't
writing was
understand.
inconsistent.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, this is true. But I mean, kept changing her mind, you know, first she wants to kill all the Jedi and it's all their fault, and then she wants to turn herself into the Jedi, and then she runs away from the Jedi, and then she's fighting the Jedi. Now she's trying to kill the Jedi again, then she's just running back to her home and she wants to kill the Jedi again. But then she doesn't want to kill the Jedi. She wants the Jedi to turn himself in because that's what he's going to do. It makes no sense. It's all kinds of stupid, and it just you can't understand why the people did what they did. So like even if you wanted to tell this specific story, you need better writers who can actually make these people feel like real people instead of moving pieces like, well, then we want this to happen. It's like, so I'm sure you guys didn't do it, but like this is how we used to play Barbie dolls, you know, when we were kids. This is how people who sucked at it would play. They would just be like, oh, and then this person is here. I'm like, well, why did they do that though? I don't know. They're just here. We just want this to happen. Okay. So it's like playing dolls with someone who's an idiot, you know, basically. It was just bad.
Well, that's just D&D for yeah. So
Uh, yeah, but we don't have dice involved. That's true. But yeah, if you're good though, you can have multiple characters going on and give them all motivations.
yeah,
That's why
but
the Barbie movie pissed me
that's
off. But I don't want to talk
you're
about that.
describing D&D but with Barbies. So
D&D
like
with
Yeah.
Barbies.
Zio, I got new Zio. I got a new idea for props you can use.
Well, I need you guys to roll for perception, please. just, I'll tell you if you see anything. But anyway, I think that is it for the night.
Yeah.
We have run very over tonight because I'm on vacation.
We have.
So.
You're welcome, audience.
It's all Meg's fault. We were running
It is
very
not.
smoothly until Meg showed up for a 30-minute rant.
I don't know. I was trying to make up by ranting myself. I was like, we need that Meg energy. Let me rant pointlessly.
Yeah, I was surprised to see her pop
Not that
in.
your rants are
Pointlessly, how dare
pointless.
you, sir?
She popped in at a good point, too.
Yeah, I was like, oh, hi, Meg.
I was like, oh, I can rant on this. Give me the phone. Put me in, coach. And then he did. And I was like, here I go. It was fun.
Oh. But yeah.
Meg's like a chainsaw. You just go, brrr, and then she just...
Just give me a topic, dude. I can rant on it all day. It's my
Yeah,
specialty.
It's been a long night. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Links for everyone, of course, are in the description down below. Is anybody doing anything?
You go ahead, Meg.
I
Meg's
will
out of
hopefully
country.
be back. Yeah, well, practically. I will hopefully be back home and able to start streaming again with Okami on Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern, and whatever happens with Central and Mountain and all of the other times. So yeah, pop in, join, listen to me rant about Isoon because he still sucks. In spite of what Chad said, Chad promised me he'd get better, and he's not better. Chad, Isoon still sucks, man.
In 20 hours, he'll get better. I promise you.
The game's only 19 hours long.
It is not. I'm like in those like 40-something hours of this game.
She's
Shut
been
up.
playing it for like 50 hours at this point. Might as well turn it into a job.
You know what? It wouldn't be.
The rest
It wouldn't
of us
be so
gave
bad
up
if like
playing Okami. She's still
the
doing
game
it.
needed to end after Orochi, honestly, because like Orochi is set up as the big bad, and all of the lore and everything. You're supposed to go up against Orochi. Now all of a sudden I have like this seven-tailed Naruto fox that I'm going up against. I'm like, what the crap is this? So I'm just confused as to like why. I'm like, why is the game still going? I'm confused. Like I'm not mad at it. It just feels like Okami. This feels like Okami 2. That's Okami 3. Like just makes no sense.
No, Okami 3 was the daycare one.
I don't want to talk about that. But yeah, it's kind of like the Batman, you know, like it should have ended at the second act, but then there was a third act, and you're just sitting there the whole time scratching your hair, like, why is this still happening? Like, I should be going home now. So that's kind of what Okami feels like. I mean, I still like it. I still hate Usoon, but I'm just confused about why. Like, I feel like they set this up wrong. But
So no, they didn't. Let me give you this tidbit. They didn't set it up wrong, but it doesn't make sense till you get to the end.
Then in that case, they set it up wrong. Because the thing is that I ever since Orochi died, I'm sitting here wondering why I'm still playing this game, and I'm just waiting for it to be over. Because they set up Orochi so hard, and they have all these characters, and now you don't care about those characters anymore, and Orochi's all gone, except like maybe this slight little tidbit of a shadow that's still left. And I'm like, I don't understand. Like, you don't really understand, except, hey, let's go check this thing out because that was kind of weird. So now I'm checking out this thing that's kind of weird, and it's kind of a big deal over here. And all this stuff that I was building up to at the beginning isn't really involved. Now, they could tie it all together, but it still feels like two separate pieces.
That's what I'm saying is that there's several pieces you have at that point in the game that do tie in together, all of them, including Orochi, including your fight with him, including all that, including what's the drunk dude?
Susanoo?
Susanoo. Everybody, by the way, every character you ran into, all that stuff, all comes together at the end to say kumbaya. No, not they all come together for plot points and stuff leading to the apex at the end.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that they tie it all together at the end, but it's kind of like I said, it's kind of like the Batman, like the
but
third
I definitely
act.
understand where you're coming from.
You're just kind of like, what?
My first playthrough, I was like that too. Like,
it feels it. it feels very disjointed. They should tie this in a little bit harder to the beginning of the game, or to like the lore, and to how this makes sense with the rest of what's going on a little bit more in this. Like there should be hints right now.
Well, there are, but they're
I mean, I'm just saying
very.
it's not a perfect game. I'm saying it's not a perfect game. I enjoy it. It's beautiful. I hate some of the puzzles, and the digging game is the worst thing ever created. But I would not recommend it. Let's put it that way. So
Yeah.
anyway, watch me struggle and suffer and curse Chad's name forever. So yeah, it's fun.
That's okay, because when 2 comes out, you're going to get a present.
The thing is that I was like no, and then I was like, but it looks kind of fun, and I kind of like it, and it's gonna be like Hollow Knight, where I have this love-hate relationship with it. So I know I'm getting it. It doesn't matter.
That Hollow Knight expansion, by the way, if you want to really have a love-hate relationship.
Oh, I already played that. Yeah.
Yeah, I did 100% of it and was like, man, that last boss can suck it. Anyway,
play Hollow Knight one day.
As for
no, I was gonna say it's a game. You'll have a love-hate relationship most likely with it.
Yeah,
it
could be challenging at times. Then other times, like once you get used to it, it's not bad. But then there's like the expansion, which is like on crack. It's like the boss on crank. I am probably not going to do anything after this tonight because
it's almost midnight.
It's late.
Well, that too, but you know, I'm a third shifter. But mainly because I'm going to be repairing my Path of Exile build. Damn it!
What?
Armor doesn't matter in Path of Exile 2. Just found that out.
What?
So
he's struggling because he's getting like destroyed, and so every time we play Path of Exile, he says he's gonna go all strength, right? He's gonna go all armor, all that stuff, beefy boy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you need like a second layer of defense at least. He's like, no, I'm good. I'm just gonna do this. And with Path of
there's
Exile
certain nodes
2,
that play off each other,
seem
so
to
I
have
thought
completely fucked up armor or something in it, and is effectively useless at end game.
Awesome.
So he's getting completely dunked on because he has no other layers of defense but armor.
Yeah, so yet again, my melee character got dicked over by the devs. And I can point to Path of Exile 1 to a degree. Diablo 3, Diablo 4.
Yeah, so he's just
not making me want to play it.
Well, the thing is, it's still in early access. They're still balancing things, so I still have, as far as the game
definitely
mechanics,
has its growing pains.
But so did 1.
Yeah,
that's why I'm like, I'm not too.
I'm still enjoying it. So
same, and I found out how to get guild hideouts. So yay.
Okay, so you're respecking tonight. So you're gonna play again tomorrow?
Tonight. I'm just not going to stream it because it's going to be a lot of boring.
For the audience who's eagerly awaiting when they can next encounter D-Pad Chad, like when are you next streaming?
Tomorrow night, we were going to do Power World, but we're having some technical difficulties, so I think I'm going to pivot.
Oh, no.
I think I'm going to pivot to Demonologist and drag Lutra and Zeo along for the ride, and possibly Misfit.
I think Power World is just fine.
Dude, I'm rubber banding everywhere.
Chad is really having some issues, and I don't understand why. Like, there's a bit of jankiness on my end, and the server is located in Dallas, and that's where all our servers are usually located at, and we've never had issues with it. But Chad is having the worst time for some reason with this now.
And imagine somebody from the UK. I don't think it's going to be better for them. Call it a hunch.
Yeah, well, maybe. I don't know. It might be just your ISP or something at this point, because we did that raid boss fight, You were talking about him teleporting around and stuff. I didn't get any of
Well,
that.
he wasn't teleporting
a-
around. It was
It was a smooth him walking from spot to spot and stuff for me.
for the most
entire
part. It
time.
was for me too. It's more of outside of the tower is where I was getting a lot of the stuff where like I would do a dodge roll and then my character would bounce rubber band back and then back to where he was supposed to roll to.
Yeah, see, I didn't have that big of an issue. Like I had a little bit at the start of of me logging in, but after that, I seem to have been straightened up and just fine.
And I checked
So,
on other
I'm not
servers too, same issue. But here's where I was like, well, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the asshole. So I went ahead and loaded up a single player world because if I'm going to have the issue, I'm going to have it offline or online. If it's me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, not necessarily.
Well,
Because
well,
if you're
I was
locally hosting it, you would have less issues than if your ISP was having an issue with it.
true. But
So
what I'm saying is I was going through troubleshooting steps, and
yeah,
I loaded up a single player game, even a multiplayer game, but just me hosting, and I didn't have any issues. So it definitely is a network issue. Now, whether it's on my end, whether it's the fact that I sent you a screenshot that the server is running on 10 frames per second.
well, we also found out that's all of them. Yeah,
and
it
I'm
tells
having
us
trouble
that it's
on all
one-
of them. You see this connection.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, it's strange because if you go in, you hit escape, you can actually see some of the server details, right? And it says they're all running at 10 frames a second, which is the weirdest thing because it's like that's not even playable.
Yeah.
But the server itself also doesn't run like it's 10 frames per second. Unless it's Chad. So yeah, no, it's one of those weird things. It's like I don't know what's going on here, so I don't know how to fix it. So and I went in and I fixed all the settings that would increase the load on the server and decreased all the stuff, and I don't know.
Yeah, so tomorrow I'm looking to play Demonologist, and we're gonna have two women screaming at the top of their lungs, Lutra and Zio.
Well, remind me to install it.
Huh?
Tomorrow.
Well, it's a short install. It's not like it's an indie game. They don't really go that big.
Scream? Wait, you called me a lady. Anyway.
He is on top of things, guys.
Yeah, I know. Priorities. Anyway, so I will probably possibly be streaming too. Maybe. Anyway, other than that, we have Gaming with the Side of Salt every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Same place, same yada yada. Anybody else with anything else?
No, I think that's it. Happy New Year, everybody. 2024.
Yeah, that's
right
right.
about out the door. It rhymes.
New Year will come before the next one, so have a happy New Year. Don't drink and drive and all that stuff. That's bad. And have fun. We will see you in the next one.
Bye.